a nice day.
You too.
Sunrise on 3FM. Sunrise on 3FM. The best in the morning. Sunrise on 3FM.
The best in the morning. The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM. The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
Sunrise on 3FM.
3FM Sunrise.
3FM Sunrise. 3FM Morning Show. 3FM 92.7. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. 3FM Sunrise. 3FM Morning Show. 3FM 92.7.
3FM Sunrise.
Believe and trust in Him that He will come through for you in your time of difficulty and affliction, and He will deliver you to a path of joy and great glory. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. It's a throwback Thursday. It's Thursday, the 5th of February 2026 in the year of our Lord. Don't go and be fighting in a Trotsky today, I tell you. But I hope you're fine this morning. Oh, we are great. On behalf of the team, we welcome you to the show. We'll serve you breakfast. There are conversations about inflation dropping from 5.4% that is, to 3.8%. The lowest in a very, very, very long time. At some point, we're at 54 something percent. Yeah, 54 point something. At the last count, we were at 23.8%. Then we came down to 5.4%. Now we're at 3.8%. But still, Marina, good morning, Yehushi. Still Yehushi, yeah. There's the Yehushi gang, and there's Yehu Bibi gang, and Ebefab gang. You understand? You know, so there are three layers.
There are three
layers
groups of
three
individuals.
Groupings, yeah. The first group is Yehushi. We no see nothing. The second group is we've seen something happening. The third group is Ebefa. That be the Inshallah and Takashi group.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Inshallah and Takashi group. Yeah.
You can't really fault anybody who decides to be on the Yehushi gang, right?
Yeah.
Because perspective.
That's right.
Perspective. That we need to. Just that. Sometimes I just like for us to be a bit honest. The inflation has dropped to 3.8%. Mostly, what confuses a lot of the people is that, you see, when the inflation is dropping,
right,
the expectation is that prices will drop.
Exactly the point.
But that is not the case.
But so what if the prices are stable? Because now the prices are stable.
If the prices are stable, that is good. But, and I say this with no malice, but for a very long time, we've been through a lengthy period of difficulty.
Pardon?
We've been through a lengthy...
You know, we've been through it.
Yes, we've been through a period of difficulty. That has been... It's been attested to by different groupings. Statistical data has pointed to that.
Right.
Our leadership in the country has suggested same as well. And so there is a lot of search for relief.
Right.
And we've been posting very positive economic data. So in all of that, the ordinary Ghanaian is looking for, where the relief is.
Right.
You and I both seated here can confidently say there have been relief in certain areas.
Yeah.
Cost of fuel has come down.
Yeah. Exchange rates,
the
inflation
which
now.
translates inflation as well. And then some goods have also seen
a reduction
in prices.
So when we and now, like, how do we say it in Tree? When BB?
Yes. Yes, you've seen something, but the generality, and I can confidently say as well, transport fares have come down.
Okay.
Outside of some of the few recalcitrants, not few, they are quite a number, who decide to charge exorbitant fees and what have you. And I recall last year when fuel prices began to come down, there was a reduction in transport fares.
Let's go to Felicity Athiano. She's seen something and she's ready to show us something from the quarters of the Ghana Meteorological Agency, where we get all the latest updates by way of weather. Felicity, good morning and thank you for your time.
Good morning, Johnny. Thank you for always reaching out to Ghana Meteorological Agency for the weather update.
Have you seen something today? Have you seen something today? What do you want to share with us? What have you seen?
Yes, today will not be different from what we experienced yesterday. We expect it to be misty this morning over some places. From 8, we expect the sun to start smiling at us, in the air up to 34 for the coastal strip, 35, 37 for the middle and the transition, 38 for the northern sector. Some few areas are likely to have some showers this afternoon and later in the evening. Those around Tankwa Obuasi, those around the Akimodanko, Floridia, Aksim, Takradi enclaves. We expect some afternoon showers. The percentage is just 30 to 40% chance. For the state of the sea, we expect it to be rough, but today we don't expect much rain, just some few floating clouds over the sky. Water Lake, those around Akosombo, Jampon, and Cliff should watch out for some afternoon showers.
Thank you very much, Felicity. We're grateful for your time and have a nice day.
Thank you. Wishing you the same.
Absolutely. And Pedro Wa Medina Cruz is listening to us. I'm sure that a lot more trotro and taxi drivers, Yango Bolt and Uber drivers are also listening to us. The Okada riders, man, we have big fans around there, market women. We'll be talking to some of them today and trying to get their perspective about this whole inflation thing. Not many people understand. I asked somebody about GDP and says, hey, GDP. GDP literally means GDP.
You know? So those, for a lot of them, those things,
it doesn't mean
plenty
anything
English.
to them. Yeah,
Plenty
they want
English.
to see
How you
Gary
say the
prices
macro
drop.
Inflation is at 3%.
No. I want to see the banks, follow in this direction and Charlie beat down the prices for
I think
the interest on loans and other stuff.
At the last
that they provide.
MPC, that's the Monetary Policy Committee
meeting,
they reduced further to around 15%.
Yeah.
I am yet to see. So I play with my bank app, right?
Yeah.
So you can actually realize you can request for a personal loan, and then it will calculate for you how much
you would pay,
over what monthly period, and what the total would be. I am yet to see, because it was agreed upon on Friday that translated, and now perhaps by tomorrow or maybe Monday, I'll try and use that again to see if the policy rates as it obviously the bank associates risks to individuals differently,
right?
And so that as well goes into the computing of interest for you and all of that. If you're a high risk borrower,
you borrow, you don't pay.
Yes, you will
Those
see
who owe
your interest levels
loans
spike up a bit because you're a higher risk borrower and all of that. And so we want to see all of that monetary policy being reduced and all of that translate. But outside of it as well, the government must be concerned about the quality of life of the ordinary Ghanaian,
That's
where
correct.
people are not queuing left, right, and center, and spending hours.
But what don't we queue for in this country? Even if you attend a wedding and there's a reception, you queue for jollof, don't you? Yeah, Charlie, we queue for everything. Oh my God, Charlie, oh my God. We get to the headlines, but first I want to single out Governor Kwame Agboja, Minister for Roads and Highways, for to come forward for his flowers, because yesterday I took a drive on that Pokwase Amasaman in Soam Road that's heading on to Kumasi, the Ashanti region, and the speed of work, the progress of work that is being done, amazing. Amazing. I couldn't believe that. Look, this was the road we were all talking about a few months ago. It was so dusty, so bumpy. Cars couldn't move to and fro, huge thick traffic. It took the president to make a call, and I know that the minister at the time was also making some frantic efforts to get the contractor back on the side, Maripoma. They're back on site. They're working at top speed. The minister is not sleeping. Maripoma is not sleeping. The president himself has an interest in that road. And I think that the minister and his team, Governor Kwame Agboja, MP for Adaklu, and Minister for Roads and Highways, and his deputy, Alasan Suhini, and with all the team there at the ministry and also at Maripoma and the presidency, they deserve a big round of applause. But still, Yehushi. Still Yehushi, Charlie. Whatever it is, Yehushi. We have not seen anything. 24-hour economy is on the front burner, is it not?
Yes.
The policy document has been laid in Parliament. It's been referred to the Economy and Development Committee. Kojo Ponkruma is there. Well, what are the headlines telling us? The Finder newspaper says inflation drops to 3.8% in January. It comes with a photo of the government statistician. ESG data must drive business decisions. ESG expert says so. Access Bank MD urges stronger African payment system. Stonebwoy backs proposed renaming of Kotoka Airport. The Daily Guide this morning says Henry Osei Akoto tips Kojo Bonsu for NDC flag bearer. Is Kojo Bonsu still interested? I don't know. Now he's an ambassador, is he not? APD 2026 develops strong finance institutions for regional projects, according to the Vice President. That's the Africa Prosperity Dialogue, organized by Gabi Otredako. Interesting, yeah. It's not. He said he's not a politician, he's not a businessman, but he's a change mover or something like that. Yeah. Nana backs Bawumia after victory. The two gentlemen are smiling. Former President Akufo-Addo and Nana, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I'm sure when they got there, Nana would have said, Mr. Vice President. And then Dr. Bawumia was like, Nana, my boss.
Well, I think I saw excerpts of the video. It was full
Mr.
of
Vice President.
hearty loves, and it was good to see.
You know, Nana is Mr. Flag Bearer.
Yeah,
and then Bawumia was
he's most likely to do one of those. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. President, you know, we'll get the economy going. Galamsey Rehabilitation Project. Government reclaims 800 acres at Nyankumasi. On the back page, we have nothing. Just some people telling us what business they do. The Ghanaian Times this morning says government committed to moving away from import-dependent economic model, according to the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. GCCI appeals to President over delayed contractor payments. Inflation drops to 3.8% in January, lowest in nearly 30 years, but still, Galamsey Rehabilitation Initiative gears up. I see William Evans Inkum there with the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Kofi-Boa, PhD, and Dr. Amoako Hene, Ashanti Regional Minister, with a plethora of individuals there. 800-acre land reclaimed at Nyankumasi area set to stimulate growth, according to the Lands Minister. On the back page, Accra-Kumasi Expressway is Ghana's contribution to ECOWAS initiatives. Rose Minister defends the initiative. 24-hour economy markets spark sitting controversy in WA. And on the front page of the Daily Graphic, that's Ghana's oldest newspaper. Finance Minister inspects First Gold at Gold Coast Refinery. 800-acre Galamsey site reclaimed in Ashanti Region. World Government Summit in Dubai. Mahama calls for inclusive global alliances. Africa key to new world order. And Brian Champon says, thank you, Patriots. The NPP spirit is alive. Together, let's unite behind our leader to rebuild our party and prepare for victory in 2020. Junior Graphic, Parliament partner to promote civic education. Is Brian seeking to become Vice President of the Republic?
Well, the data suggested, I think on Tuesday, or was it Monday, we were having a conversation around what the data points were from that presidential primary, and he seemed to have performed quite well in areas where the NDC did well in, as against Dr. Bawumia, even though he won eventually. But the data shows a certain tide growing in his favor,
right?
And so it has brought about conversations. Very early on, people have suggested, could this be the partnership that does the magic for them come election 2028? Well, the Vice President has that decision to make, but from what we understand, it's very early days yet, because the reorganization has to happen all round when there are fresh national executives before he will take a name then, so it will take quite a while.
Well, the back page will continue. 130 million daily deficit impacting reliable water supply. Ghana Water Company Limited MD Adam Mutawakilu, former MP for Damongo, now MD of Ghana Water Company Limited, the great one we call him. New franchises system is safe, secure. ECG assures. That's William Boatins, Director of Communications of the ECG. What do you have, Eric?
I have quite a number of papers. Punch Africa, Kotoka International Airport to revert to its original name, Ayariga. Apenyo Malkin rallies a Futu in support of Bawumia's presidential bid. Agric Minister inspects livestock market at Ashaiman, Tulaku. Musa Dankwa wants Apenyo Malkin maintained, while Catholic Diocese honors Speaker of Parliament, and Irab Narbin wants government intervention on cancer treatment. Supreme newspaper, Bawumia set to repeat Napo in 2028. Lobbyists asked to back off. NPP Council of Elders commends peaceful presidential primaries, calls for party unity. Now, there's a question here. What if the NDC presents an Ashanti flag bearer to face the NPP? Comes with a picture of Kojo Bonsu. Winning back Ghanaians' trust is the bigger battle upon Nkrumah after Bawumia victory.
Right.
I mean, Adam makes the case for Bawumia as the NPP's 2028 standard bearer. Amega Herbal Bitters trademark. Okay. Accra High Court defers ruling on transfer motion. The Daily Banner. MIF's audit causes MIF audits crisis, right? Signed report sparks Jubilee House intervention. External auditor terminated. 800 acres of Galamsey degraded land reclaimed at Nyankomasi as Mohammed's Galamsey fight gets results. Kotoka International Airport rename an indictment on NDC Apenyoma Kenekufaro backs Dr. Bawumia to lead NPP back to power. Those are the stories.
Interesting stories we have there.
I cannot tell, but I've known the song. Although it's me, although
So there's a throwback Thursdays and not,
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Charlie, this is where the jams of the back in the day. Charlie, but this inflation conversation, I don't know what exactly Atufosin is doing, but it's beginning to look very, very good and very appetizing. 3.8.
Yeah.
From 23.8 down to 5.4. And now 3.8.
So it's 13 consecutive months since we've seen the downward trajectory. It's not the lowest in our history. I think the lowest somewhere 1.9%.
Yeah, but this is about nearly 30 years.
Yes, and so there's a lot of talk about the rebasing and all of that comes to play. But this is the lowest we've had in quite a while. It's good. For ordinary pockets, hopefully things will stay the way they are. But we were talking about why persons complain that they are not feeling it amongst many other things. The other leg of inflation is producer price inflation.
That's right.
It is where we have to look at, and yes, the prices are not increasing as they are supposed, or as we've seen them. When I say supposed to, that means they are supposed to be increasing at astronomical rate, as we have seen before. But it will be good to see how much it costs the people who produce the goods as well, whether or not they are also seeing the cost of production
something look up for them,
come down. Then it will also mean that in the medium term, we will not see the increases like we saw.
Let's be fair to the fact and say that this is the national average.
Absolutely.
So your personal inflation could be way, and that perhaps is why people would say mihunshi, because if your inflation is, the figures are bigger than what the national average is, then obviously you will not see.
If yours is, because when you take the data, so 307 items or so, which is put in the inflation basket, some have seen above national average, very high. And there are quite a number of items within that bracket. If you unfortunately are spending a lot on items above the national average, it is not 3.8%
Okay, so the January figure represents this from the Finder newspaper by Praise Bell Rosemont Labi. It's on page 8 of the paper. It says the January figure represents a significant slowdown from the 5.4% recorded in December 2025, reinforcing signs that inflationary pressures in the economy have eased substantially following a prolonged period of macroeconomic adjustment. Data from the CPI release show that the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which what you were talking about, rose to 262.3% in January 2026 from 252.6% in January 2025, translating into a year-on inflation rate of 3.8%. This reflects a 19.7 percentage point drop from 23.5% inflation recorded in January 2025, underscoring the scale of the disinflation achieved over the year. On a month-on-month basis, inflation stood at 0.2%, indicating that prices rose only marginally between December 2025 and January 2026. Analysts say the subdued monthly increase suggests that price stability is becoming more entrenched rather than being driven by one-off base effect. Food and non-food inflation continue to ease. The data show a broad-based decline across major inflation components. Food inflation slowed down to 3.9% year-on-year in January 2026, down to 4.9% in December 2025, reflecting improved food supply conditions and easing transport and distribution costs. Non-food inflation also declined sharply, falling to 3.9% from 5.8% over the same period, despite the year-on-year easing. Non-food inflation that rose by 0.4% on a month-on-month basis, suggesting that some pressures remain, particularly in utilities, house-related services, and transport. So there you have it. Inflation and non-inflation situation right there. It can only get better, and we can only pray for it to get better. Sixtus, one baby. And I still won't she.
Yella.
Yella means everything lost.
Things are happening.
Yella. Oh my God. And you can also join us on the stream. We are live on 3FM 92.7 on Facebook. We are also on X. Hashtag is 3FM Sunrise. Very interesting conversations there. The Chief Justice of the Republic has been making some rounds.
Yeah.
There are suggestions that he is doing a thank you tour to go and thank people that have supported him to win. But yesterday he was very emphatic, repeating what he had said at the police headquarters. That, look, I'm going around because I have a vision. He wants to start an afternoon court so Sixtus can go to afternoon court and leave the morning for us. You understand? I don't see why that should be a problem for anybody. He wants to have special courts for what? Galamsey, cybercrime, and cross-border crimes and all of that. Why would anybody have a problem if the Chief Justice is thinking forward in that direction? And you know, it's important to engage. If the Bar Association does not buy into it, if the police does not buy into it, prison service does not buy into it, you can empanel a judge or judges and let them sit for an afternoon court and nobody will show up. People will give them excuses.
Absolutely.
But so long as people know that they are all on the same page, they will show up. The police will provide protection. The police would bring their prosecutors. The state attorneys will be present. The prison officers will be there to whisk you away to, safety or wherever it is. Black Maria will be there and all of that. I think that sometimes we need to pipe down on the politics of things. What do you think, Sixtus?
But I mean, we should know that the judiciary is merely aligning with
the reset.
The reset and the major policy direction of the day. And this is to say that if the government is trying to drive a 24-hour economy,
right,
and we are all complaining about traffic congestion, the lack of Trotskys Yesterday, I was reminded that we have graduated from Trotro to Trotsky.
Right.
It's the same
So
thing.
let us amend accordingly.
Just nomenclature. It's the same thing.
Trotro
It's the same thing.
Trotro is still
No,
So
Trotro.
actually, somebody also said there's a difference between Trotro and Trotsky.
What is the difference?
Trotsky is the one that when you sit in it and they see you, you see there's some, you won't be hiding your face.
You mean Trotro? Trotro is the one that when you sit in, you can see the ground, you can see the floor, the street, and then when it rains, the roof of the Trotro actually leaks, and you have to start patching. You understand? That's Trotro. But Trotsky is relatively new, so you don't see the ground.
Or well taken care
well
of.
taken care of. Yeah, they have some blue lights and disco lights in it.
That one there, you have
arrived.
They have killed you. You
And
have
then,
arrived.
and then the Trotro driver, the Trotsky driver has a small TV in there that they
front.
show you movies and things. That's a Trotsky.
That's a Trotsky.
Trotro, no
And
time. We don't get
and the
time.
mate's armpit is not smelling.
Pardon?
The mate's armpit.
Pardon?
It's nice.
I take exception to that. The mates
which
are
one?
my friends.
That means that some of them don't bomb. You want us to open the lines right now?
No, please.
Oh, please. Mr. Isaac Mensah, Kanko's South. Buddha, good morning to you. Why do you want to look for trouble for yourself this morning?
Anyway, back to the issue. So, the Chief Justice I see is aligning with the direction of the day, which should help us.
Right.
And I agree with you that it shouldn't be something that would generate any controversy, any argument, and we are not ready for it, and
Right.
we can't come here at 6 p.m., we cannot do this, we cannot do that.
Right.
In any case, the judiciary has, in fact, started this some time back. I recall interning under a justice, in fact, two justices of the High Court. And one of them was piloting this Zoom thing, the hearing
Zoom.
via Zoom.
Right.
Yes, they'll call the case. All the protocols were observed. The procedures
I
respected.
think Richard Jakpa had a case like that was used in the Richard
Yes.
Jakpa case. Yeah.
In one of the Richard Jakpa case,
Yeah.
even Kwabena Dubois' case,
Yeah.
it's been heard via Zoom
at some
at
point.
some point
Yeah.
as
Okay.
well.
So I mean, there's that demonstration that we have the capacity to do it. And again, I recall another judge I intend under, who also was running a sort of a shift. You know, my judge would run from morning to midday, and a second judge will come from midday
Right.
to evening.
Right.
So, only question we should be asking is whether, in terms of human resources, the judiciary has the capacity to do it.
But the
So
judges
if
who
we
are
are
not
splitting,
empaneled, some of them they are there. Then
High Court. I'm
no,
not sure.
not High Court.
Okay,
You know, some of them
the
were
Court of
complaining.
Appeal and the
They were
Supreme Court.
complaining that Charlie, they pass them ball.
Maybe they were complaining that Judge Mawena has 10 cases he's sitting on,
Yeah.
and Judge Johnny has only one case.
Yeah, Charlie. So
Maybe
Mawena should
because
pass. Whoever
it
is
is not up
empaneling
to
should.
Mawena
Yeah,
to
it's
pass.
actually
No, but
the
whoever
Chief
is
Justice
empaneling should pass some of them
Uh-huh.
balls.
So all of those are things that may have to be realigned, but also remember that those are administrative powers
of the
and
Chief
duties
Justice.
that are exercisable only by the Chief Justice.
Right.
So all in all, I would applaud the idea that we should have specialized courts for Galamsey.
Right.
This really will deal with all the small boys who have been arrested, and some are probably in Saom on remand, others are probably in various police cells
Right.
on remand. Let us have a court that would hear their cases all round the clock, so that we would at least free up the space, if for nothing at all. We will at least free up the spaces in our holding centers to say that this young man has nothing to do with this Galamsey issue. Masa, go home.
Go home.
Investigator, go and bring the man who you
person
should be
who-
bringing
yeah.
here. I want that person here, rather, so that there's constant attention on I think he mentioned two things: Galamsey and another.
Galamsey, cybercrime,
Cybercrime.
cross-country,
Cybercrime, and you would recall that recently
cross-border
Sam George
crimes.
and his people also started arresting a lot of people
Yeah.
on cybercrime offenses. That
and
look,
cyber bureau authority. Yeah.
yes. So I mean, all of these we keep asking, where are we keeping them? The other day we were having a conversation about the task force, the GPRTU task force arresting drivers and their mates, and where are we keeping all these people? Because once you arrest the person, the word is arrest.
That's right.
Once you arrest the
48
person,
hours.
it means that
You have to keep the person.
full process is kicked in, and you can't arrest a driver and go and keep him even for 12 hours. Come on, he has to earn his daily keep, and you're arresting him because he has charged 1 cedi extra.
But
So,
so,
I
why,
mean, the
why did he charge
process-
1 cedi extra?
Greed and selfishness.
Anyway,
So I applaud the idea.
Yeah.
Question is, do we have judges to be able to sit round the clock if we are doing from 8 to 12
Right.
and 1 to 6 or 1 to 8 p.m.? Do we have enough judges to do those or run those shifts? I mean, if I am
I want
a
to believe. I
client-
want to believe that the Chief Justice is satisfied with preparations because he said beginning Monday.
Yes,
That's next week, Monday.
which was one of the. In fact, that part of the statement really got me thinking. That was bold.
Yes.
means
No,
preparations have been
because
underway.
Yes.
prior to this, prior to the announcement at the headquarters of the Ghana Prison Service, he had met the other group, the GBA, and the other group, the
Law Society.
Law Society.
Society of Ghana.
They have also been accredited. Met both of them, both groupings. Met with the Ghana Police and met some other key stakeholders, and now is meeting the prison service, who will be
And by the
final-
way, the official name is Ghana Law Society.
Ghana Law Society.
Ghana Law Society,
Ghana Law
yes.
Society. Are you a member of the
They
Ghana Law
have
Society?
firmed up.
Where are you? Are you with the GB or Ghana Law Society? I won't change my question. Don't stop eyeing me.
How am I eyeing you? I'm waiting for you. You stopped me in my tracks to ask me a question.
Yes.
Yes.
These are, so I'm asking you this one now.
So, are you ready for the answer?
Yes.
Don't cut me.
Yeah, I'll cut you.
Okay.
If I see that you're deviating, I'll cut you.
It's a simple.
No, it's a very simple question. I have registered for the Ghana Bar Association. At the same time, I have registered for the Ghana Law Society.
Dual citizenship.
The reason is
Yeah.
at the time the Ghana Bar Association opened its portal, the Ghana Law Society had not activated registration processes. In
okay.
fact, had not been accredited.
to even start.
But the moment they got the accreditation, I quickly registered. And I have been asking, Ghana Bar Association, I am a very young lawyer looking at my future. You are asking me to pay huge sums of money as dues.
That's one of the many things which perhaps the Ghana Law Society will help reduce, will help
Exactly.
bring about a certain change in that, because I see a lot of young lawyers,
Young lawyers.
and it's been a complaint that's been on for a very long time.
You are not earning anything from your firm. And yet,
I thought that-
the Bar Association is asking you to pay monies you have no idea where you are getting
So you're
from.
saying they are impoverishing you as opposed to flourishing you?
I am saying that the Ghana Bar Association should do more.
They should look at the rates again.
Should do more.
the way
The
the
Ghana
thing
Bar
is going,
Association
if they don't
has a
take
lot more to do. I have been asking my seniors about lawyer welfare. For instance, if I pay my dues to the Ghana Bar Association and the question comes up, what am I getting from the Bar
We
Association?
condemn in no uncertain terms GJ like English.
Because even for a diary, and if you know lawyers and diaries, they are like 5 and 6,
Yeah.
as the Gen Zs will say.
Yeah.
A lawyer never works without his diary.
Right.
It is central to the lawyer's
practice,
work,
right.
his life. He needs it for his planning. Then you are selling a diary as much as 450 Ghana cedis.
Oh, diary.
Again, I come
Look,
back and
I'll
ask.
come I'll come
keep-
and dash you one.
Thank you.
My bank gave me one. I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God will bless you.
Amen.
God will
Amen.
keep you.
Amen. It will let you remember me.
It doesn't mean that when you come, my consultation will go down for you.
Stop shouting. Stop.
Because even the bar conference, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, sometimes that's also very expensive.
Not sometimes, it's always expensive.
and if you don't pay, you do not have a say in the elections and what have you, and all of that. So
That I am not sure about. But I mean, point is, I know that this comment I have made will start raising. I'll receive calls.
It's good.
But you see, the point is, I need to make that point that the Ghana Bar Association, for a long time now, has left its members asking, could we have had more or better?
Right. Anyway, Chairman Prosper Alechu, good morning to you. How's the motorway feeling these days? Is it better now? Have you used the motorway recently, Sextus?
No, I dodge. Anytime
Marina?
I have to use the
Have you
motorway, I
used
dodge.
it this-
I used
these
it
days?
in January somewhat.
Yeah.
Work is progressing.
Right.
Work is progressing. When I was on my way to the Volta region,
Right.
and so we had to go through the motorway.
Right.
Work is progressing steadily. That I can see, but I haven't been there. I think it's close to a month since I've been on the motorway, because I was in I was about this time of month, like very early in January when I took a trip to
Right.
the Volta region, and then you go through the motorway.
That's right.
when
You have to
you're
go
going
through them.
So unless you decide to go through Medina, but I chose to, and work is progressing. Hopefully, it will continue across board. That's one thing that you cannot say that we're not seeing. We're seeing steady progress in terms of construction of road projects across the country, and interestingly as well, members of parliament are inspecting big push projects in their respective constituencies and seeking to ensure that they are policing the contractors,
Right.
and what have you. So it will be nice to see the member of parliament for the area where the motorway is going to as well also pick up some journalists to get an understanding as to what the level of progress of work is. But I can't say that work has been progressing
Right.
since I last went through that.
One of the other CEOs who's doing very well is Edward Abambira Bauer at the Agoil. He's doing an amazing work as well. I mean, I think that everybody is trying so hard within their corner to do something great.
Well,
Ablaji Fagomashi at the Tourism Ministry, Kwejeto Ablakwa, Minta Kando, Eric Opoku. Is that the name? That's the name.
That's the Agric Minister.
Agric Minister
Minister.
Eric Opoku, John Dumelo. I see him around as well. You see Muntaka Mubarak. You see Haruna Idrisu. Everybody, Broja Jemfi. Everybody seems to be doing something well, and I like the fact that nobody has brought a scandal now, because the president was very emphatic. If you are the first to bring a scandal, I would deal with you.
He's even been given further such warnings to heads of state-owned agencies
Yeah.
that the deadline is April.
Yeah.
Your audited accounts and financial reports and what have you need to be put out
Yeah.
by April.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he said he wasn't going to state what's going to happen to you. But
Lau.
the times when some of these agencies go an entire year and no such reports
Yeah.
is over, and that you have to make the reports.
You have to be
available. And
accountable.
So, yes, it will put a certain accountability,
Right.
right? And oversight responsibility as well, which is being brought to bear by the executive, will ensure that we begin to. His promise is that he wants to elevate governance to a certain extent that the bar cannot be lowered again.
Right.
And it is the earnest and fervent prayer of every Ghanaian that can happen, because like I said, like I say more often than not, we need to move to a point where before somebody wins an election, it's because of superior policies and a proposal to manage
Not
better.
a party slogan or a party campaign
Not-
song or.
He has destroyed it. Let me come and fix it. We don't need the two major parties taking us into hell.
But that's
Then
the Kwani
other one
they've
will
been
come
playing
in.
with us.
Exactly. we want to see the governance level and everything at a certain level where people are better
that
off.
certain,
and then
that
that
cer-
becomes
look,
the
that
competition.
certain level can only be seen when the citizens can now attest to the fact that Chalina in here, but now it was bad, but now it's getting better.
Exactly.
You know, when the people, I don't think that And that's why I admire, for example, Kwame Akpocha, and I'll go on and on about it, because he's one of the few who is not interested in media hype. He's not one of the few who is
The work is on the ground.
who has social media people following him around, the honorable. No. He is one of the few who says, look, let my work speak for me. And the work is speaking. It's beginning to speak. I mean, the people are. I remember Papa Bisu will make a call and talk about Shikpontele roads around Amasam, all those places. These days when they call, they are very. They even though they talk about it, they are toned down because they are seeing work happening and it's getting closer to them. That's all the people are asking for. The public good, delivery of the public good. I open my tap, I should see water. I switch on my light, I should see the light. You know, I should see good road. I should see my street lights. I should see traffic lights. I should see road markings. I go to the bank, my interest rates are down, and then I can go and borrow. Inflation is down. I can get food to buy at an affordable price. My take-home salary can actually take me home and keep me at home, not leave me halfway.
Not finish in the middle of the road.
Yes, because in you understand?
Yeah. And while we comment the ministers,
Yeah.
the energy minister, Dr. Jinapo,
Yeah,
because he also,
Dr. Jinapo,
he
yes.
also got his PhD
Dr. Jinapo,
as well.
yes. And Dr.
there-
Enes Nogbe.
Yes, Dr. Enes Nogbe. He says yesterday he listened to
I
him
listened to
proper.
my head.
Yes, so it will also be important that we keep the feet of some others as well on fire,
right.
and the Greater Accra Regional Minister and the promise for street lights. She's been on tour at a number of places, and I saw in some of the videos she was bringing pressure to bear on some of the MMDCs.
Right.
The promise on street lights is one that she gave herself some time.
She gave us a time. It's gone. It's way gone. I think about
we want
17 days
the
or 90
street
days.
lights on the capitals. We want to see them.
We want to see them
The
happening.
regional minister.
Yes.
Yeah,
the
we want to
Greater
see
Accra
the lights
Regional
happening.
Minister.
One of the
And we have
general.
to say that here at Sunrise we have chased the regional minister. I am saying this.
Oh, slow down.
We have chased the regional minister. We are still waiting for that interview.
We will call her again. I'm sure that people will tell her that we are calling her. I was away, but now I'm back. We'll call her again.
She wasn't coming because you were away.
I didn't say that. Those are your words. Those are your words, clearly. Those are your words. But another gentleman who's doing very well is Godwin Eduji Tamaklo at the NPA. There's Combat doing very well at Oil Refinery, bringing it back.
I think there was a Christmas present he gave Ghanaians when the flames
it started going up. Look, Tama Oil Refinery was a white elephant, a big white elephant. That clearly was not a winning symbol, and it was just they were paying people for doing next to nothing. Tema Oil Refinery is bouncing back.
It became a
tank farm.
Yeah,
A tank farm. NPA doing amazing work. Go to Best or Best. Afechi Awono is doing amazing. And that for me is gratifying because I've always been an advocate for giving young people an opportunity to work.
Absolutely.
And if young people are put in positions of authority and you see them delivering, man, there are others who are also playing around, misbehaving in the name of hype. It comes to mind another who is doing very well at the Youth Authority, lawyer Osman Ayariga.
Yeah.
Amazing guy, doing great work. Malik Basintali is doing good at YEA and all. You near them and you say, actually, no, this is happening. This is good. 800-acre land reclaimed at Nyankumasi. Do you know where Nyankumasi is? You don't know where Nyankumasi is? It's closer to...
the Ashanti region.
No, Nyankumasi is in Ashanti region or Central region. Aguna Nyankumasi or...
Okay, if
central.
there's a Gona, then
Central
it's-
or Western?
So because I know Nyankumasi at down the Asin Road, but let me find out where this is. This is a story by Kinsley E. Hope. Manso Edubia. That clearly is not in the Central region, it's in the Ashanti region.
Ashanti, yes.
And it says 800 acres of land once devastated by illegal mining at Nyankumasi in Manso Edubia in the Amansia South District of the Ashanti region have been reclaimed under President John Dramani Mahame's renewed fight against Galamsey. The scars of Galamsey, once stretched as far as the eye could see, open pits filled with murky water, cocoa farms swallowed by gravel, and streams turned brown with silt, and the water looked like the brown gold cocoa I just had this morning. Today, the same land tells a different story of rows of cassia and teak saplings swaying gently in the breeze, a green promise rising from 800 acres of reclaimed land. The reclaimed site now stands as a living symbol of recovery, chosen for their resilience and economic value. The trees are expected to restore vegetation while offering sustainable forestry opportunities for future generations. That alone is good indeed. And so now this is an example, a testament
The same story is carried on the front page of the Daily Banner newspaper.
Daily Banner.
Yes, independent, honest, credible.
Okay, we hear.
Nice one.
Yo.
It says 800 acres of Galamsey degraded land reclaimed at Nyang Kumasi as Mohammed's Galamsey fight gets results. And the story is by Michael Ofosu Efriye, writing from Kumasi. He's actually deputy managing editor of the paper. So it says that in a decisive move to address the environmental scars of illegal mining, President John Dramani Mahama has overseen the reclamation of 800 acres of degraded land at Nyankumasi, located in the Manso Edubia district of the Ashanti region. Signals a robust escalation in the government's campaign against Galamsey and its commitment to ecological restoration. Galamsey Rehabilitation Initiative. Since the commencement of its term in 2025, this is a lengthy one. I think the crux of the story is what I just read.
That's right.
Yes.
What I'm interested in from this is fantastic in terms of our fight against Galamsey, but we were given some figures as to how much it costs to reclaim land.
That's right.
In all of this, and a lot of
that in the story
they're
continues
planting
on page 3. It is not on page 3.
teak and some other variety of other species of trees to reclaim.
I'm just curious, the persons who destroyed the land, whether or not they paid for the reclamation. It cannot be that people will go destroy the land.
We let them go, or we jail them and feed them,
and then we have to go and find, because it's very expensive to reclaim.
That's right.
And also the chemicals, the heavy metals. Does reclamation?
I'm told that there are species of trees that can be planted to help with eliminating the sapping out the chemicals from the
chemicals
soil.
from the soil. So all of that and more is a part of what I want to understand, because this is in the generality of our fight against Galamsey.
Right.
Reclamation is expensive. Yes, NIMOS has been given additional funding to clamp down on Galamsey. Yesterday we were told they were on the Pra River and they were able to stop some young persons, 50 plus individuals who were on the river and all of that. We need more of such.
A lot more.
Because it will be very expensive for us to go back to be doing prevention. They say is better than cure. Better to prevent than to spend extra.
That's right.
Reclaiming the land.
Yeah.
And
somebody said provision is better than kiosk.
The last time we had a conversation with Dr. Hannah Bisiu, it was one of the issues that came up, what her outfit is doing.
Yeah. In fact, they went out there, sorry to cut you, they went out there, I was there as well, to do some community mining, reclamation, and all of those ones somewhere in the Gosu area. I was there, I saw a big...
Well, I wasn't there, I just had it in there. And when you came back, you didn't report, you see?
No, when I came back, I was on leave. When I came back, I went on leave.
Waiting man do man.
When I came back, I went on leave. Hello.
Well, I had some interactions with her and her team when she came here during the Christmas break. You know, we had a special
during Christmas.
We had a special production during the Christmas.
Came to do lessons.
And she was part of the lineup. And after that, we had a lengthy conversation out here in the yard, and we kept asking her about some of the things that are they getting results, or we are only seeing them fight people. And I was amazed at the kind of work they are doing, how they are leading people, educating people, more importantly, telling them how to mine, showing them how to mine responsibly, showing them what chemical to use and what not to use, and all of those things. So I think that as much as we focus on the arrest, that side has to also be highlighted.
Yeah, the education.
And we should have a budget for that. And I agree with Mawena. That should not be at the cost of the state.
Of the state, yeah.
If you are caught degrading the land, polluting our water bodies, we should not come reclaiming the land at our cost.
Okay.
That my small salary I take, they should collect some of it and go and reclaim the land. And then you probably go and sit in some jail with highly paid, high-paid lawyers, you know, defending you.
State prosecutors chasing you.
You should be made to bear the cost of the reclamation. I think it is the way that we should go. And our courts should begin to integrate this into the punishment regime.
Right.
So that if you see how expensive it is for you to restore the damage that you have caused, you will think twice.
You think twice before you step forward. And this is also to point to the fact that there's some work being done about Galamsey. You know, the argument of the opposition and some individuals who are known to be aligned or associated with the opposition MPP suggest that government is not doing anything, and they usually pick on journalists and social activists and others who were very vocal in the last instance to start talking about the fact that, look, you don't talk about Galamsey anymore, but these are real results. If 800 acres of land, for example, has been reclaimed, and there are many others that have been reclaimed, why would I still be talking in the same manner and tone when nothing was happening, when forest reserves were being given out for people to go and do Galamsey? You know, you can't marry the two situations and expect that, you know, the same tone and heat, because there's work that is being done. The minister is giving public assurance over and over again. We know that those who had the forest reserves where mining was happening has been stopped. We now know that when people are arrested, we don't only parade a few Chinese people, a few of our indigenous people, we also parade the weapons that were seized. We are shown the videos and pictures of how their camps have been destroyed. We are shown the generator sets that are seized from the place. We are shown the lights. We are shown the weapons and ammunition. We are shown cash. We are shown the gold and other minerals that are seized from the place. We are shown the excavators and all of that. In the past, you didn't used to see that. And I always say that if you go to a Galamsey site, it's like a regular construction site. The foreman always has money on him because people are doing by day. When the day ends, he has to pay people. So if you go and raid a site like that, yes, if you go and raid a site like that,
so I may collect my money for today, I won't come back tomorrow.
Exactly, or go to another site.
Okay,
it's not a monthly job. Now, if you go to a Galamsey site and you go and arrest a foreman, or you go and raid the place and you catch the foreman and you don't declare their money, there's a problem. You don't declare the weapons, there's a problem. You don't declare the fuel that was saved, there's a problem. Mercury, because they use mercury, you don't declare that, there's a problem.
You only declare the number of people arrested.
Exactly. You can't go to a Galamsey site and tell me that you did not find one small. Come on.
No, they were now washing it.
So we need to start demanding more from our people in terms of those things, but to create the impression and suggestion that there's no fight.
We cannot disclose those ones.
Oh, what is security about that?
But if we tell you that NIMOS has seized the equipment and seized this amount of gold
and found some gold somewhere,
armed robbers will cross them. So that one they don't.
So the armed robbers will dare not cross them. So gun them down.
But at the point when the declaration is being made, the declaration will be made away from the site.
Exactly. So I think those are important details as well, because you go and you don't. They always report and they don't report the gold.
No, they don't tell us even the cash that is seized
exactly
and all of that.
And the other aspect of this is, yes, all of this is great. But sometimes I do not fault the people who criticize as well because of some of the commentary which was associated by some now very high-level persons within this government. And there are a lot of young activists on social media who are still making the noise.
I have not gone to my dreamland yet. Where's the remote?
What is dreamland?
He says he's not going to Canada yet.
I have 10 left. I have 10 right.
Reduce the temperatures.
So we have to go and pick a few calls. But first, let's go on to our Facebook page. Kwajo Fiagbe says, Johnny, talk some for us. The traffic situation from Ofanko to Achimota is killing us. I entered the traffic around Taifa Junction at about 5:20 a.m. today and still in it. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Engineer Shama Abbas says, there is a proverb, and I quote, had I known is the philosophy of a don't Baumia Kufado, don't pretend to be okay, I'm sorry. Atoke Sky Man says there should be a special court for politicians who steal the state money. I agree with you. That special court should be what? A special court for politicians who steal state money.
What has happened to the tribunals?
Oh, that is coming up.
That is coming up.
The ones announced by the Attorney General in one of the press conferences.
It's coming up.
Yes.
Teacher Kujo in Tepa, Enyina Susuo, says, is renaming Kotoka International Airport a priority? Would the name change employ all the jobless hands, and what would be the cost of it? It seems as if when power gets to some people, they instantly become disoriented and start thinking about things that don't matter to the average Ghanaian. Cocoa farmers are wailing for non-payment of their produce, and the best the government can do is rename the premier airport due to politics. Greetings to Honorable Eric Nanajiman, Prempe MP for Ahafo South, Chairman Odinihu. Interesting. He supports Eric Nana, the former NADMO boss.
When will renaming the airport become a priority in our national? When will teachers or doctors or cocoa farmers not be asking for better conditions?
Yeah.
When will journalists not be asking for a more safe and secure environment to do? There's always something pressing. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't focus on the so-called less pressing matters. In any case, the Kotoka airport name thing has been a raging discussion. Not be today.
Okay, Atoke Skyman Airbender Lamarck, what a name. No matter how high standard Mr. President raises, if our grandfather is giving another chance, inflation will be 60%. He has reviewed his error, no matter what. I don't know which grandfather is talking about. Tutmose Athens says, marijuana is one of the best plants that can help purify the land and absorb all the chemicals. I didn't know that. He comes back to say the Ashanti Regional Minister said all reclaimed lands with government funds will automatically become the state's land. Well, yes.
I think we need to ask Black Rasta.
Haruna Abdul Rashid about the hempe or Coach Nanajiman. Good morning, 3FM. Welcome, Johnny. I am watching you from Fadama. Yes, Fadama Ninja. We are watching you as well from here and reading your comments. Fo Sena says NDC is doing well and we hope they don't change. Nice day. Well, we hope certainly.
The Ashanti Regional Minister said all reclaimed lands with government funds will automatically become state lands. When did he say that?
I don't know when he said that, but I'm sure that we are not at loggerheads.
Is that how the state takes over?
But if I use my money,
you see, that's why
we use that money. We use our money to do body work. We'll own the thing. Anyway, 055-924-2717, 055-691-0154. Time now to talk to me. Inflation. Are you seeing CS and are still Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Johnny.
Yes, boss.
Johnny.
No crash, son. So I said,
Bakupe, Francis, Bakupe, Johnny, you did the Jenny Namoye.
Adumarakwa, Yenti Waseme, Yanko.
You, Mammy, and Chair Akuga, taking Kufu. Madi Bridjo Asama, and a mere Chema to Sweden, I like to say that made you follow Mupa. Opening a far a year Kotoka International Airport today. Johnny, ye call ye ba. A being sister and yet me party. Obakaya, me or Sankara,
That's right, Sankara Circle. Yeah. In the end, Aqua J interchange.
And one at the sun, you know, before.
Bachai.
I'm a penny for the best son. A day was a son. It may both all your man penny or walk on a year, a man penny for PR, or would be at that, or maybe so at you. And so I'm a penny for by an better sign. Because of what is the Sankara and I, the bank, and some fantasy in a day, I know what he is, if you then will be a way you cool. No, what two of a penny, no, only be a better. Maybe yes, some of the Accra International Airport, and your body. And for Janim Rain, and then for Chicago and Rain, but your body.
Thank you. Good morning. Oh, sorry. Please call me to 055-924-2717. 055-691-0154. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Johnny.
Yes, boss. How are you, Chairman? Hello?
We missed a lot.
Yes, I missed you right back. Who is here, please?
This is Ibrahim from Second.
Okay, yes. Talk to Abraham.
So we thank God for hearing you again.
We are grateful to God. Talk to me.
They say good work.
Hello, Ibrahim.
So you are doing good work. It makes the whole nation feel a hole that we miss from you. We pray that God should give you long life. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm grateful. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Abolo Common Sense. How are you doing?
To God be the glory.
Amen. Talk to me.
Johnny, I want your listeners to know that you have been nominated for this, or you say it yourself. Johnny fans, the voting ends Friday to Saturday noon. So it's just a communal labor, very short. And as I said yesterday, the number people that love Lotto is 12-10-71. 12-10-71. 0242. That one, let's assume is a code. 0242. 12-10-71. Yesterday, I'm not happy the way the Momo is coming, but I plead with them.
I see.
We want to vote for Johnny to win that money show host.
I'm told the award is this Saturday, actually.
Yeah, the award is this Saturday. So by the end of tomorrow, we have to vote massively. I know incoming chairman of Tema West, Chama Jasper, is listening and he will do the needful. Lawyer Zuma called me yesterday. He's listening, director of port, and he will do the needful. Alaji Aokondo, in charge of operation at the castle, is listening. Alaji Pitati is listening. We will win this award, but we will win by voting.
Inshallah.
Johnny,
thank you.
You know, the benefit of a truck on hill is just to sit on it and be free.
Hey.
So we use the airways free and solicit vote to win a media general to get the plus. I end by telling His Excellency John Dramani Mahama inflation is 3.8, but it's not reflecting in our pocket. I can hear some porters that the job rate is going high. It's true. Me, Abulu, I'm in unemployment. 1 year down the line, my party is in power. I cannot see top. Recruitment, Yamutu, and Cocoa sector. Randy Abe is trying to the place to put a politician. They put a politician. They have a good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
The people's voice.
Amen.
The only King Johnny on the airways.
Amen in Kwabenya. Good morning. How are you?
Not bad, you.
Right, Adeo.
Oh, okay. Let me also add my voice to what my senior brother Abolo said. The name he mentioned, Honorable Azuma, Makafui, Jasper of Tema West, please, let's support our brother. Also, my MP, Honorable Elishu Maklugu, Honorable Edmond Agbu, please, Abolo just put the number. Let's support Johnny because it's really what doing your man job to support Madagascar, especially the bike. We miss the bike for so many months. Back to give us the bike. So let's support him to win the award.
Take your time.
Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Today marks Daniel Eben Jr.'s birthday. 4 years today. Yes. They were missing you so much. So today, I'm saying happy birthday to Eben Jr. I just sent him to school. May the good Lord bless and keep him so he become a successful person to the society and the nation as well. And as I'm concluding, Johnny, for me, the inflation, I would say that was, I do feel it bad. I'm using 806. I'm sorry, 806, 128 figure around, man.
I hear you.
You know, in 2023, I bought it 2,000. But yesterday, I went to Achimota Mall.
Right.
I don't want to mention the company's name because they haven't come to.
Yes, don't mention the company's name.
807. 807.
Right.
I'm using 806.
Okay. What is the issue? Go ahead.
Yes, the 807, the same brand. You know they are selling the 1,300 and something, 313 cities. Something I bought the lower 806.
Okay.
In 2023, 2,000. Now the 807 is what 1,313. So it tells you what the inflation is really doing something. Let me applaud the government for
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Sir Shak.
Oh, Charlie, no.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Domo.
Great. Talk to me. Yes, sir. We miss Ellen too, yes. Okay. Okay.
Then incoming chairman, okay.
Go ahead. Let's hear your point.
Okay, Johnny. You spoke about guarantee and recommendation.
That's right.
You see, the politicians are involved. That's why the fighting has become busy, but you understand? Where there is a way, there's a will. Or where there's a will, there's a way. We believe that no, they can do something about this thing. Because go on the days when we were not seeing massive guarantee, but we survived. So if we are saying that now there's no job to because of that, why don't we rather focus on farming? This land that these people are destroying with the cyanide and what do you call it, mercury. Why don't we focus on farming so that rather when we produce in abundance, we should be able to what export our produce to the other countries.
I hear you. Thank you very much. Grateful. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
This is your brother, Ike Lord.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Johnny, and I don't pay many of my men here. Honorable Eric Opoku, I a penalty chief. Because they say the Aniaba, and I pay to the body of the swam, and I pay to and yes more.
That's it.
Now, Maniaka, we mean here, Honorable de la Edemon, so, and I can Catamaso MC, Honorable Tiki, the video will be
okay. Go ahead. Yes, hear you. Yeah.
Johnny.
Yes, sir.
I get back up pen, I'm there to any man now pay. Pacho, the wood mama, and tell the Oka.
Right.
What I was for in Sono, you need to cry almost 2 months here. I work from Catamaso, Ufi, Atadeka, and they call Agbeshila, and they call from Catamaso, Zenu. Almost 2 months here, and so Empa tap Muba Kumpoteko, and I have bread, pure water, and yet, and ye jolly wahasi. And she upon my show. Omunya hu bibi mayen.
Okay.
Ni ato so bi o mi pa cho. O ma Ghana mo mi nyina yen fa ejidi enche ya papa mahama mu ni num pedifo mu bu o man because obu do ma no ko ba bi pa e dia mayen so e ona bu tami gensi a o ye duma papa me da tie na no pay.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Johnny. Please.
Yes, my brother. How are you, sir?
I am fine.
Great.
And you?
I'm greater than a
my with regards to everyone in the studio.
Great. Talk to me.
Please, so, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Why are you not announcing the code that we can use to support you? Why are you not doing that?
Oh, the code is already out there. It's been announced so many times.
But we don't know, so you have to announce it.
But you just heard Abolo mention it, you know.
Abolo mention it.
You are pretending not to know. You are pretending not to know. Please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and make your point, please. Make your point.
Oh, don't.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyway.
Yes, sir.
I live at New Water.
Okay.
Where I stay.
Right.
From 6 to 6 Ganchi to Fish Pond. the road over there is very challenging. The MP that we have over here is an MP on the ticket of MPP.
Right.
So I say, until you call the president face to go and see for this kind of development for the people. Moreover, the light over here, nowadays, light is also. So I'm asking, are we sharing load or is there any problem? They should let us know. Because the light keeps on going off.
Okay.
Please announce your food for us, please.
Thank you. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Nachichen.
Adumarakwa.
Joe Ashama.
Okay, Joe in Ashama, let's hear you.
Okay. Minchi anko master mi jenke any edogita mako o metimi aboa na omunyanse mu no Ghana etima fa ne ntuma pa ifra ma ene fuel aba single didi ama ene obia na wa park ne car na okofu trotro na ene nyame adum joma ama ne edoje darumanti nipa ne tuni car otimi to fuel ne time minia mamika bibi njo inflation aba fon but yati nyama bo e was so kakra
right.
Bonisem, any Timodi, and a politics, any idea or my win, a day sell my way. This you mean? Who see Yama boarding? Who can find Yamanu bar? That is good. Yamanu was soon to me, you Yama. Abani say, oh, Mateo Sufre. May you have met him in inflation at him about from $1 so about for my team. Uka, why and walk of Panyama. But Nippon did Yamanu bar. Open into moonlight, open for 2 times 10. A better no mind with your own Nibino, with Timaba Toby, Eddie Ako. When him say, obey me, watermelon, I know it's maybe 1 week at me say, instead of obeying Swatonu, watermelon no issue, nothing in our day. It's a your mind is sure. A Bilmutia, a dear politics, and a more man who go to a job baby. It is a better matter, some more my work on the knee. Send him fresh to call for me a very fresh to a bottom there. I just say yes, I year and send a better man.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir. Collington Amomole, how you doing? Yes, sir. Let's hear you quickly. Your point.
Hey, today they say you are giving me just less than 30 seconds.
Go ahead. Make your point.
I'll do a summary.
Yes.
Let me greet your chair president, Honorable Ashimo. Well, I'll go straight to this transport issue because as my chairman said, you are chairman that the inflation, yes, we all know that has dropped drastically. But if you didn't do something about this transport fare, it will go against the good people of this country. Look, MPP started this their dam that yes, indeed, he said petrol has dropped down, diesel has dropped down, the dollar, but we are paying the fares as we are paying as Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. It's true. It's true. Yes, if you go to all the stations and across, you can see how people are struggling. So please, President Mahama and Transport Minister, we are begging in the name of God that do something about it before it's too late.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
This is from the city, within the city.
Maestro.
Johnny.
Yes, boss. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. I'm doing well. On Saturday, as usual, the primaries will be coming on Ayawasu.
Right.
I'm calling on the people of Ayawasu to vote for number 2. That's for Adia Amina. Since listen to your program, Honorable Jaja, Deputy Minister of Tourism, is also listening to your program, and Adia Farida also listen to your program. I say good morning to them.
Right.
You see, Johnny, my problem is we have a free market in this country.
Right.
You go to market, price of the goods are down and whatever. So when you go to buy Kinke, you're going to buy Banku and whatever, it's still like before. And we call ourselves a good Christians or good Muslims. If you want to make a lot of profit, we shout. Supporting the NDC coming to power based on all these things. Not to see dollar down, want inflation down and everything. So that when we go to buy food, we can be able to enjoy or whatever. And say people that sell food want to make a lot of profit, double profit from people.
I hear you.
And you call yourself a good Muslim, a Christian, and you're doing those these things. Finally, Johnny, the truck from Medina to Dodo, what I still did that the same thing. They charge fare high in the evening. People are crying. So if the GPRC and the police are listening to me, they should watch these guys. They are very wicked. These people, they will not go to heaven. Also, what should you? Why can't we do this? Your fellow Ghanaian.
I hear you, Maestro. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Good morning.
That's Maestro with many wives, too.
Papa B said, I don't know about that.
Oh, you asking, you tell you.
He has many wives, huh?
Hi, Maestro. Anyway, good morning, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Good morning to Ellen, wherever he is.
Great.
See, this aspect of charges of high fares and things like it's becoming too much.
Right.
Wickedness, That's why I said the government should bring in more trotro buses, more trusty. We need them. So that these Jandam people always using it as politics, I mean the MPP, like you say, you remember, inflation that's how they are. And when they come to power, they're okay with their things. Hey, MPP. So, fact of the matter is, they said they've invited the statisticians to come to Parliament, right? That's Kojo Poma, Mr. Cost of living. Kojo Poma. You always say, oh, he's not seeing anything. Meanwhile, fuel price is down. Very, very down. And then the dollar too down. You understand me? There's that. I want to find out this ginger sellers in the market.
Right.
They will tell you, oh, ginger, no, please, Honorable John Domelo, ginger producer, flood the market with your ginger so that this market remains. I don't, like you're saying, they are so wicked.
Okay.
Kakumono, the village thing that I told you about, the water problem. I think it's linked with the Okantabasu something. So, can you work it for them? I beg of you.
Thank you very much.
I don't want to talk too much.
Thank you very much. Great. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Some 45 minutes after 7. That's 15 minutes to 8. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Johnny.
Yes, Ninu Waha. Ninu
Waha. Ofanami Bomani.
Mani Papa Blavo.
Oyo Adonke, Nusumo Kupanu, Wamangana. Mr. Johnny, and me Kasabi Bree, but the chair on Abuku Daduko, and the rest of the communication supporters. Now, I can't say mechanism. Samandu Beka Assembly will be better what Tamilon 20 cities, 30 cities. Now we're checking on 10 cities, 10 cities, 10 cities. Into what Tamilon Bacono, or to me, not 50 Ghana, won't sort to myself, Mr. Ghana for BTR. Nyama Adjani, Senya, one more Adjani, any fruits, or more Nyama Boyadino, or Mutisun, sort to myself. When maybe a term, Rollis, I say Rollis in Isubino. Ghana for young when I need to mind, yes, I say Subine, sort to myself. Who rice, you have rice in Mount City, rice in Usu, I know, sort to myself. Ghana for yes, I say Subine.
Thank you. Good morning.
Johnny.
Yes, sir. Abang, how are you doing?
Johnny, I'm doing well, and you?
I'm fine. Greater than Accra. Talk to me, Abang. Yes, sir. We can't hear you. You have to speak up, Abang.
Yeah, Johnny, can you hear me now?
Yes, you are loud and clear.
Yeah, now. Okay. Let me say hi to my boss, Honorable Keneboa. Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Why are we doing this to ourselves as a Ghanaians? Johnny, it's very painful. Now that the exchange rate is down, look at the goods of prices. Look at how our businessmen and women are increasing day in, day out. Johnny, you're very, very sad. Sometimes we now Johnny, can you remember the time MPP took over in 2016? Johnny, I pursue kind pepper dealers in to see Omuniamatu. I didn't hear that. Now saying driver be, tipper driver be, or you complain, Mammy, I am for 2 and one quarry stores now, but this time. Johnny, quarry stores now, but this is down. Almost one may way be almost this. Almost on a friend said, Ghana, and that Chinese for 420. Baupa, yes, one. That's the same way. No, only 7 now. So they want the government to enforce law to bring control price, so that they will say the government is motivating Ghanaians. But Johnny, I am very, very sad. Sometimes when I sit down and I see the way our Ghanaians are treating ourselves like this.
Right.
I say no.
Thank you.
Daniel.
I'm grateful. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
This is Alaji Haruna, and I'm calling from Ashama.
Alaji Harun, talk to me. Assalam.
Alaikum salam.
Great.
Let me say good morning to Abolo.
Yes.
And the Sunrise crew.
Thank you.
I just want to greet the female mayor of Tema, Iggy Bright. Honorable Iggy Bright.
Right.
I would advise that she should put her eye on the Ramsar side. Things are going wrong over there, just around the Committee 12.
Right.
The tail end of Committee 12.
Right.
Apple Lane. So this is my advice, and I'm calling on her. We don't want her to fail, and so she must help protect the Ramsar side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Johnny.
Yes, my brother. How
Johnny,
are you doing? Manye Papa Blavo.
Johnny, please, this is your friend Gausu from Ashaiman.
Yes, Gausu, talk to me.
Johnny, please, do you know why I'm excited this morning?
I don't know unless you tell me.
The inflation has come down drastically.
The inflation, eh?
From 20-something to 3.58%. Thank you, John Dramani Mahama. Thank you, John Dramani Mahama. Ghanaians vote for you massively because of this. And you've made it. You've made the magic. Johnny.
Yes, sir.
I'm still on my issue. Please, but let me greet my chairman, my incoming chairman in Ashaiman, Honorable Zach. Zach is coming to correct Ashaiman and do Ashaiman better.
Okay.
So thank you, God, for bringing that for us.
I hear you.
Johnny, my same issue. When it comes to Ashaiman, the main traffic light, the traffic light is not working. But as you said this morning, the regional minister has done well because I can see yesterday they were doing well. So thanks to the minister.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Great.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Please, I'm calling from Damango. I'm Zenabu.
Okay. Zenabu, talk to me.
Damango with serious water problem.
Oh.
As at last, and now it hasn't come. And then we learned they've not paid the contractor.
Oh. Wow. So which portions of Damongo do you have this challenge? You would have to reposition yourself so we can hear you. Your line is not behaving properly.
Okay. Please, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Tell us, which portions of Damongo do you have these challenges pertaining at? Oh, sorry about that. We can't hear you. You'll have to call us back later, please. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Johnny, me bodo manye.
Manye papa blabo poto yo manche.
I saw me Daniel Shite me we can get trouble. We can be organizer for trouble constituency.
Right.
Johnny, this morning let me take the opportunity to say a very good morning to my CEO, Honorable Lugas Poti of BBLA for the good work he's doing. And then my mother, Comfort Doyo Ada MP for the wonderful work she's doing at Ada. Johnny, with the inspiration, it shows the government is doing well. So the good performance of our government, that has brought the inspiration to that stage. And if somebody says it is not reflecting in our pocket, then I disagree with the people. It's the wickedness of some market or traders in the nation that is causing that. That is disallowing the inflation to reflect in our pocket. Because the president or the government is doing its best, and they all have witnessed. The whole world has witnessed the good performance of John Dramani Mahama administration.
Okay.
But Ghana for
I hear you.
Are we doing the right thing?
Thank you. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, boss.
Johnny, you're welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling Mawena, calling from Mama Sama.
Mawena from Mama Sama.
Yeah, what I want to say this morning is about the market women. You know, I went to Accra, Okanshi Drug Lane. There are some stores there. I've been buying paste from there. I buy Colgate Total, that's the foreign one. Formerly, I mean, about a month ago, I've been buying 400, 40 CDs. So I went there just last week. When I went, then the woman said 65. And I said, oh, madam, why? Now that they say you people should reduce the suppliers, when they bring the thing, they increase everything. So all the big men, that's what they are doing. They are the suppliers. They are bringing the thing, and they've increased it. Nobody is reducing anything. So if we are asking them, they don't have anything to say. We should talk to the government officials to call Guta and these suppliers into order. Talk to them and advise them that they should do the right thing. If they do it, they also reduce. So now, as it is, it's like a ploy of sabotage. Okay. So the government should wake up. Minister for Trade and Industry and other people, they should call Guta and the suppliers and ask them what are they doing to help reduce prices of items.
All right.
You know, we are hearing of inflation. Inflation there is a figure.
Okay. I think your point is well made. Thank you. Good morning.
My brother.
Anand, how are you doing?
Brother, by God's grace.
Yes, sir, talk to me.
Well with the
yes. Let's hear you quickly.
Also, let me get my drink to do Papa Bisu. Because I remember, discussing now more on a illegal and say issue or
right.
And a Bisu. Make I say, Omoko. Ashanti region hobe bione task force no call bush. Sa district police commander na oni me team no. Say obe cross the omoye no. Then emla na aka che no no man no ma ka dey ache no. Ye pese ye hu because say ye need be san and manachi. So bi obeye bi say o si obi awo ye o man no mbra kwa so no. If you know the punishment, yeah, so chair man. So that's the next time. This will be your bedroom say, and we will be quiet. And say, Yanko Point.
Thank you very much, Dasepa. We'll pick two more and then we will wrap up for sports because Kosha is lacing her boots and we're getting to the details in a bit. This is Sunrise on 3FM 92.7 Community Voices here live on your radio. We're also on Facebook at 3FM 927. The lines to reach us through are 055 924 2717 and 055 691 054. That's 055 924 2717 and 055 691 0154. You can phone in quickly before we wrap up this segment and get into sports. But first, hear about President Mahama bemoaning the situation as he came to meet it in 2024. Going to 2025 regarding state-owned enterprise. Two quick calls and then we will get that over and done with. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name is Lola Janado.
Okay, calling us from?
I wanted to talk about the market issue.
Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Asalaboche School Junction.
Okay, great. Let's hear you.
Yeah. The only thing I can say, for market women, they for do like the way our former president just do. They for market and give them. That's all. That's the issue. Me, I thought.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, my brother. Final caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Sir Johnny.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, boss.
Hope everything is cool.
I'm fine. Is that my friend from 37?
This is Tony from.
Hello? Oh, sorry about that. Well, we cannot pick any more calls. We have to go.
We had a conference with SIGA, and we're giving the debt position of state-owned enterprises, and almost all of them are in debt. Even companies like Gehog Distilleries, where when I was president, they used to pay a little dividend to government. Today, they also owe. And the question I ask is, how can you sell alcohol and be in debt? When Ghanaians are happy, we drink alcohol. When we are sad, we drink. When we are not happy, we are not sad, we drink. So how can you sell alcohol and lose? And so we're charging the management of state-owned enterprises and the workers. Let us work together to make sure that we make these institutions viable, because those institutions belong to all of us.
And that's President John Dramani Mahama charging state-owned enterprises to do better. Kosia is here with sports, and good morning to Abu in Kokomlemle, and also to Alhaji and all the great guys who couldn't call us, Alhaji Peter T, Alhaji Rauf, Alhaji Yao Kondo. Good morning to all of you. The Accra Mayor, Michael Alote, good morning to you and to your team as well for the great work you're doing out there. Akuja, good morning.
Good morning.
Is sports inflation also dropping? So.
Yeah.
What's on the plate this morning?
We're looking at what Masay Desai said at the trophy tour in Cote d'Ivoire. You know that even though Ghana has qualified to the World Cup this year, unfortunately
they didn't show up here. Exactly. The last time he showed up here, we had Pastor praying that the cup would remain here. It didn't show face even near Africa.
We would have needed our prayers.
We need it now. In fact, we need those prayers now.
Well, the Black Stars have some matches in March, so probably he could go there. We give him a miniature trophy,
something like that.
Kabe on
it. Something, pour some oil onto it. So that we can whoosh it.
Exactly.
My God. The sports up here on Sunrise. Stay with us. We'll be right back after sports to get a conversation on the road, trying to hear the perspective of the market women and the ordinary Ghanaian regarding inflation. And also, the 24-hour economy bill has been laid in Parliament. What are the fine details? We'll share with you as we go into Parliament and also get some expert advice. Stay with us here. We'll be right back.
Good morning once again. My name is Akosieje. It's time for the sports update on Sunrise. We will be starting off with what the former France international Masay Desai have been saying. And he says that he's actually tipped Cote d'Ivoire and Senegal as Africa's most realistic contenders to reach the final of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The legendary defender made these remarks in Abidjan during the FIFA World Cup trophy tour that was presented by Coca-Cola.
Over the years, we are pleased that FIFA has been enough smart to try and give access to the competition to more teams, which now we have this World Cup 48 teams and 9 for Africa, which is great. It's just amazing. So yes, when you look at most of the team now in Africa, you can see that inside the team there is a lot of first choice player in Europe. You see, so the potential is there, the quality is there, the belief is there. So yes, I would say that as Morocco did for reaching the semi-final, Senegal can do the same thing. Ivory Coast can also pretend on something if they get into the dynamic they had for the African Cone, the one at home that they played and win. So yes, I believe that.
Until you heard Masay Desai there. To some other stories, and Kumasi Asante Kotoko coach Abdul Karim Zito has issued a direct challenge to his players ahead of their crucial MTN FA Cup tie against Aduana Stars, stating that there's no justification for another poor performance following their recent league defeat. The Porcupine Warriors, who are the defending FA Cup champions, suffered a disappointing 3-1 loss to Bando Hearts of Lions in the Ghana Premier League. With their season struggling for consistency, Zito sees the cup as a vital opportunity to reset and rebuild their momentum.
Anticipating a good game, better than what we did in the league. One of the worst performances I will admit was against Heart of Lion. And one nice thing about football is you always have the opportunity to make amendments. And we use the Aduana match to make amendments to please our fans. And being the defending champions, we have to show that we are really the defending champions.
Meanwhile, Aduana Star CEO Collins Atapuku has expressed strong confidence ahead of his side's FA Cup clash against Asante Kotoko, insisting that the Doma-based club is heading to Kumasi with a clear mission to knock out the Porcupine Warriors.
If we had our way, we would have wanted to play them outside of Kumasi because we know our track record there. But it's an exciting challenge. One we genuinely believe we are up to. And we'd come and distinguish ourselves at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, sell our brand of football, sell our Doma and our Sergio Fossade and Anajman Bedu II, and let everybody know what we are capable of. I'm pretty sure, by the grace of God and the ancestors of Aduana, we would eliminate them. We've not won it before, so the target is to win. Thankfully, we are in the round of 16. And if you qualify, you are in the round of 8. You are 3 games away from being champion. And we want to look at it that way. So the target is to win. They still remain a threat. But that's why we are also a club playing. And we look to the people we have and see how best we can do it. I'd have loved you to say, okay, over the weekend, Abetamwa came back, he scored on his return, Kwampoku scored a bicycle kick, Benjamin Chifanyok got a brace. So we are trying to do something nice. And I'm pretty sure when the time is due, you'll get a right man to come and do the job in Kumasi for us.
You heard Collins Atapuku, who is the CEO for Aduana Stars. Now to some transfer stories from Antoine Semenyo to Andre Ayew. Ghanaian players have been on the move in the January transfer window. My colleague Andrew Sefa Banfo takes a closer look at the top 5 Ghanaian transfers.
2025-2026 January transfer window has concluded, and here are 5 Ghanaian players who secured moves from their respective clubs to new clubs. Top of the list is Antoine Semenyo, who moved from Bournemouth to Manchester City for £65 million, becoming the most expensive Ghanaian transfer in the process. Semenyo has already hit the ground running at Man City, providing 5 goal contributions in his first 5 games for the club. Next up on the list is Majid Ashimeru. Injuries have robbed Ghanaians of seeing the best of the midfielder, who at 28 is nearing the peak of his powers. Ashimeru also moved from RC Anderlecht to join Belgian side La Louvre. Jonas Ajeti had no second thought when Wolfsburg came calling, as the Ghanaian moved from FC Barca after spending 3 years in Switzerland, joining Wolfsburg on a 4.5-year deal. Ajeti will be looking to add to his 7 caps when the World Cup rolls around in the summer. Fourth on the list is Ibrahim Suleimana. After enjoying stints at Bologna and then Atalanta, Ibrahim Suleimana has rejoined his former club Cagliari until the end of the season, who also will be looking to put behind his injury worries and then stake a claim as to why he should be taken to the World Cup by Otuado. And finally on the list is Andre Ayew. After 8 months, Andre Ayew is back in action, joining Dutch side NEC Breda, who are currently battling for survival in the Eredivisie. Andre Ayew would also be hoping to stake a claim as to why Otuado should include him on the plane to the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
So that's how transfers happen, the top ones for some Ghanaian players who will be hoping they make Ghana's squad to the World Cup. Manchester City booked a tantalizing Carabao Cup final against Premier League leaders Arsenal by hammering holders Newcastle 5-1 on aggregate in a one-sided semi-final. Trailing 2-0 heading into the second leg, Eddie Howe's side needed something special in the return game at Etihad Stadium, but endured the worst possible start as Omar Mamouch's 6th minute goal set City on their way to a 10th final in the competition. Let's now hear from Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola, who believes the final represents a major opportunity for the club's new arrivals to secure their first trophy with the citizens.
It's been 2 games, 180 minutes, and we have been really good. Of course, they have chances there and here because this Champions League team, of course, Jonathan and Bruno Guimaraes are really, really important players, like we have in our absence as well. So, but in general, make a 5-1 aggregate is really, really good. The first half, having the pace and the rhythm, especially for the players that we have up front in the middle, that they are defensively higher pace. And yeah, for many of us, for me included, I'm really happy to come back. And for many players that never been in a final, the Carabao Cup or in a final in this club, is a good thing to experience that against maybe the best team right now in Europe, in the world, for many reasons. The numbers, the stats, the way they play, in many aspects are really good. I think it will be incredible experience for all of us to try to hopefully arrive in March, everybody fit, everybody ready, and we can make a good game against them.
You heard Pep Guardiola there. Meanwhile, the opposite dugout, that's Newcastle United head coach Eddie Howe, put the defeat down on his side's inability to convert the numerous chances they created.
First half for us tonight, I think we were craving that first goal, we didn't get it. And when Manchester City get it, you know, it's our task becomes even more difficult. I don't think we played well in that first half an hour. We were losing too many individual duels, and when you do that against the quality of opposition that we were playing tonight, it was always going to be tough. In saying that, we had good opportunities to score in both halves. And I think if you add up all our opportunities in both games against them in this tie, there's a lot of missed opportunities in front of goal, which ultimately I think has cost us.
That was Eddie Howe. Then finally, before we go, the road to the biggest show in football starts to shape up. Just 126 days left until the 2026 FIFA World Cup kicks off. Between now and June, 3 Sports will bring you daily updates, features, and countdown stories on as the world gears up for the tournament in North America. The following 3 Sports report has more.
The World Cup is changing, and 2026 will be the biggest ever. For the first time in history, 48 teams will compete, including at least 4 debutants. That means more nations, more stories, more dreams alive. 3 countries will host 1 tournament: the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico, turning the World Cup into a continental celebration. Over 100 matches will take place in 16 cities, the most for a single World Cup. Ghana will play at least 3 of those matches in 3 different cities: Toronto against Panama, Boston against England, and Philadelphia against Croatia. And all the build-up, analysis, interviews, and fan engagement will be here with 3 Sports. 1 game, 1 world, the biggest World Cup ever in 2026.
That's it for the sports on Sunrise. My name is Akosia AJ. Thanks for listening.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Otonodo!
Come into the mountains, sight and I grandfather.
It's time to drive you home in style.
Latest sports update. About some 6 months ago, sometime in 2025, the Media General 3 newsroom brought you a bird's eye view of what a 24-hour economy means for jobs, businesses, and your daily life. Now we know that the bill for the 24-hour economy has been laid. It's been referred to the Committee on Economy and Development of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, the 9th Parliament that is. But what are the details therein? You know that people have been asking questions as to where the jobs are, because one of the major campaign issues of the NDC at the time when they were in opposition was about a 24-hour economy. One job, 3 people, 3 shifts. That's 133. And subsequently, we've had many people asking, including Minority Leader Alexander Kwame Afenyo-Markin Osahin, where are the jobs? He actually even spoke in Ga on the floor of Parliament, asking where the jobs are. We've heard the likes of Kojo Oponkroma and many others making same claims and asking questions. The man in charge of the 24-hour economy at the office of the president is Mr. Gusitan. We'll get into that conversation with some economists, some analysts. We'd like to hear from you as well. What could possibly be done? We'll get into the details of what has been laid before Parliament. And then we will get to understand better how we position ourselves. There are some of the institutions that are already running their 24-hour economy. I can mention the DVLA, for example. You could go to the Tema Port. And some individuals who are running 24-hour service. I know some pharmacies who run 24-hour service. But how do we get this running full throttle so that we do not have to come back to being import dependent and we go begging around the world? It certainly has to be Ghana beyond aid, not Ghana in need of aid. Judith Brown on this occasion, sometime in 2025, about 6 months ago. Maybe in August 2025. Give us this impression of the 24-hour economy. Listen.
The lights never dimmed in Ghana's industries. What if innovation and progress continued day and night? Well, from dawn till dusk and dusk till dawn, the 24-hour economy, if properly implemented, is set to redefine Ghana's future. But what is it all about? Well, let's take a closer look. Our economic policy aims to transform Ghana's economy by promoting activities and services that operate around the clock. Estimated to cost a whopping $4 billion, the policy aims to increase productivity, create jobs, and stimulate economic growth by maximizing the use of the country's resources and infrastructure.
Let me be clear here. The 24H Plus agenda is not simply about extending working hours. It is about unleashing productivity, expanding opportunity, accelerating exports through well-structured, multi-sectoral and inclusive interventions.
The vision behind this policy is to position Ghana as a modern, competitive and thriving economy that operates efficiently and effectively with objectives including increasing economic activity, creating employment opportunities and improving the overall quality of life for Ghanaians. Well, several sectors will be involved in the implementation of this policy, including transportation, hospitality and tourism, healthcare, finance and banking, and manufacturing and industry, providing services 24 hours a day. Presidential advisor on the 24-hour economy, Guzi Tano, stressed the policy will exist to serve the Ghanaian people and not just a political party.
Nobody is going to be left out in this program. The only thing is that because the resources are limited, we can't do everywhere at once. So what we've tried to do is look at those areas where we believe will be the growth poles that will also pull up neighboring districts and neighboring constituencies so that they can also rise gradually as these core growth poles also grow. I assure you that we're all involved in this matter, whether you are red or you are green or you're blue.
The policy is set to be implemented through a multi-stakeholder approach involving government agencies, private sector players, and civil society organizations. And for businesses, there will be policy incentives including no import duties, targeted tax exemptions, no corporate tax on strategic agri-production, and many more. But the policy is already facing some criticism. Political scientist at the University of Ghana, Dr. Joshua Zato, describes it as not nationalistic in nature.
The argument then seems to be that the reason why companies and businesses are not doing 3 or 4 shifts in employment is because they don't have incentives. That argument becomes wrong.
For Professor of Finance at the University of Ghana, Professor Godfred Bokpin, establishing a special organization with the status of an authority to implement the policy will be costly for the country.
We should be looking at the cost of implementing our development policies and the rest of them so that we don't burden the taxpayer.
Well, despite these criticisms, state actors believe the policy has the potential to transform Ghana's economy. And government has already committed $300 to $400 million as seed funding to attract private sector investment. So, will Ghana's 24-hour economy policy be the key to unlocking a brighter future, or will it face the same fate as other government policies that fade away with the dawn of a new regime? Only time will tell. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
The big conversation on 3FM Sunrise. Break again.
3FM Sunrise.
Minutes after 8 on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7, you're about Lifestyle Radio. We do know that the policy document for the 24-hour economy program has been presented to Parliament, the 9th Parliament, for scrutiny and approval by the House to give effect to its implementation. This is a sequel to months of minorities' demand for such documents to allow for proper oversight. And that bill establishing a 24-hour economy authority has been laid, referred subsequently to the Economy and Development Subcommittee of Parliament. We'll get into the details, but first let's speak to a man who reports and covers Parliament. Christian Yali is his name. He joins us now on the phone line. Chris, good morning and thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, Johnny.
Now, we know that finally the bill for the 24-hour economy has been laid in Parliament, referred to the subcommittee, but what more do you have to share with us?
All right, Johnny, so let me even clarify that the bill that is establishing the 24-hour economy authority was laid in the last session. So right now, the committee is done looking into it. So hopefully today, what they would do concerning the bill would be to present a report on it. And then once the report is taken, the bill will now be taken through the consideration, as you know, and then it would subsequently be passed. Now, what happened yesterday was the policy document, like you indicated, but I even recall that somewhere last year in June, the 24-hour Economic Secretariat, led by Guzitando, they visited the Speaker and sent the policy document, a copy to him, to the Speaker. But after that, we did not see any action taken. And so, as it were, the minority has always been saying that there are a number of programs like that one, the 24-hour economy, also the 1 million coders program, the National Apprenticeship Program, there is the Job Export Program, and others, that about 15 or 16 flagship programs that were launched by the government, that they were indicating that they had not received the policy document to do a better scrutiny. And also the concern for the minority has been that once those programs have been launched and they have been captured or they found space in the budget and Parliament has approved substantial sums of money for such programs, it would only be right that they receive the policy document so that they do the cross checks to see what exactly the programs entail and how the implementation of those programs are going to be. So yesterday, when the majority leader Mohamed Arda was laying or presenting the document, he actually referenced the series of calls made by the minority, and he subsequently, presented the report, which has been forwarded or referred to the Economy and Development Committee to consider, and then later they would come with their report after the consideration. Then the next stage will be done.
Interesting. How long do we envisage that the committee will take, given the fact that there's heightened interest within the public space, within the political space, within business arena as well, that this 24-hour economy initiative will be kick-started and be guided to flourish as well?
Johnny, I would say that as soon as possible. Also because the bill itself is ready and the report is ready. It means that the policy document sort of is going to give effect to the implementation, or is going to give effect to the bill once it is passed and assented to by the president. And so as soon as possible, and as it were, it is one of the key items that Parliament is going to consider in this session. So what it means is that as much as possible, the committee is expected to give a priority to it. Also because there are a lot of bills and reports that are pending before the committee. So earlier, when the House reconvened on Tuesday, the majority leader sent that signal to committee chairpersons and ranking members to ensure that a lot of these reports, there are over 300 of them that are pending, that have not been transmitted or worked on and brought before the plenary. And so that signal has been given them already to ensure expeditious consideration of some of these reports. So, Johnny, I can say that as soon as possible. For all we might even go back today or by tomorrow, and we'll get to know that it has been advertised on the order paper to be considered.
Now, I know that the 24-hour economy has been talking about a multi-sectoral approach to growing the economy using that initiative. However, you have had a chance to peruse through the bill that was laid, and possibly I have had a sneak preview of the policy documents. Which sectors are primary and, if you like, very paramount to this whole 24-hour agenda?
Yeah, so multi-sectoral, like you said, which is true, but then the primary or the foremost sectors, you'd have economy, you'd have agric, because agric, and when you look at the longer name of the the program.
Right.
It is 24-hour economy and accelerated, growth or an accelerated development program. And so it just presupposes that even beyond economy, it is not just economy, but it goes beyond economy to touch on other areas. So you have, like I was listing, we talk about economy, we talk about agri, because when you look at the country, agriculture holds the country a lot. Just that more often we don't even get to focus on it and talk much about agri. But agri has been one of the backbones of the economy. And so agri is there. Then you look at industrialization as well. And you look at, and that is where you have the Ministry of Trade and Industry also coming in. Then it will then dovetail into the other sectors, so much so that almost every aspect of the economy, almost every sector of the country would be affected by it. So jobs, trade, economy, finance, agriculture, all of these are some of the primary, but you also look at manufacturing as well. So there is manufacturing aspect of it, there is logistics as well, there is what you call healthcare as well. Then you look at services, and when you look at the services, you realize that there will be different services that will come under the broader umbrella of services, which time wouldn't permit us to go through it. So you realize that it's actually, a big umbrella under the 24-hour economy and accelerated development program. And so those are some of them, Johnny.
Now, finally, before I let you go, I know that the speaker a few months ago was busy talking about how the 24-hour economy was going to ease the pressure or the workload on the staff of Parliament. Do we know if we see any signs at all about the change that the speaker had envisaged some 7-8 months ago?
Not really. Also because the only new faces, I would say new faces would be maybe NSPs, National Service Persons, who from time to time every year we get new NSPs coming to serve at various offices in Parliament. But when you look at the frontline workers or those who are leading the roles, that has not been especially translated into what the speaker hinted at earlier. And so we look forward to saying that because there are times that even when you look at the proceedings, the votes on proceedings and the records, you realize that even the table office makes some few errors, which is normal because they are humans. But then again, it goes back to the issue of the workload, because then if you have to, on a daily basis, record votes and proceedings verbatim, when Parliament itself is still in the process of transitioning into even having the consoles that have been worked on and programmed on the tables for the MPs to get a lot of the documents and stuff on. Yesterday, for instance, the Minority Chief Whip, Anodom Prep, was asking for copies of reports to be made available, not knowing the reports were available on the tablets or the consoles in front of them, but he didn't know. So which goes back to the issue of transition. So yes, there is still that burden or workload which would need more hands to look at, especially for those who do the secretarial works like the clerk's office, who always have to work on reports daily and present them for them to be corrected and worked on. So it is there. We hope to see that once this process triggers with the document being looked at, with the bill about to be considered, then once the implementation begins to take effect, then we'll see the rippling effect, the positive effect it could have on the operations of Parliament itself, especially with the MPs who have consistently made that demand for special training for their PAs and more hands so that their research work gets done or carried swiftly.
Christian Yali, I want to thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. We're grateful.
Thank you, and I'm grateful as well.
Right. Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, had this to say some 8 months ago about the 24-hour economy and how it's going to help Parliament do its work. Listen.
Yeah, I recall my response to a concern of the staff that because we've changed our sitting hours to 2, is going to compel them to stay longer into the night. And we're saying that that will be disadvantageous to them because it means they are going to work more hours. They are reporting in the morning 8 and maybe going home 10 or 11, and particularly those in the official reporting division, the Hansard division, the table office and the rest. Yes, journals, they stay the whole 24 hours working here. And my response to them was that they don't have any case at all because we can employ many more. And so you come and work your 8 hours, you go home, another person will take over for 8 hours, the person will go home, another will take for 8 hours. So get more people working here. That will rather reduce unemployment. And I can assure you that the load of work here is unimaginable.
On Wednesday, the 2nd of July, His Excellency President Mahama will launch the 24-hour program and accelerated export development.
And that our speaker Bagbin and Mr. Gusitano will go on the phone lines in a bit. Try and get some more understanding of it. But you're a citizen of the Republic of Ghana. Obviously, you also have your own thoughts about the 24-hour economy. Does it look feasible? Does it not look feasible? What can be done? What sectors are you perhaps aiming at? What are you looking for? And we'll connect this to the conversation about inflation in a bit, because we know that if the economy is running and is running a 24-hour economy, clearly there'll be a lot more to manufacture, cut down on imports, and hopefully get some more strength for our local currency, that's the cedi, or our national currency, that's the cedi. Areas such as hospitality and tourism, hotels, restaurants, bars, pubs, entertainment, we'll talk about nightclubs, cinemas, and live music events, and all the entertainment in between. We'll talk about retail, supermarket, convenience shops, pharmacies. And I mentioned a pharmacy that operates 24 hours. I think that about 2 of them. I know Flexstar, I know Cabis. Yeah. Transportation as well, taxi services, ride-hailing apps, public transport. Security is very, very necessary. Healthcare, hospitals, clinics, and health posts. Food delivery services as well. These are areas, all areas that can function properly under the 24-hour economy. But the question is, how much is it costing us, and how much are we pushing into it, and how ready and willing are we able to adopt it? With Professor Festus Ibotek Singh. He is an economist with the economics department of the University of Ghana. Prof, thank you very much indeed for your time. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. Good morning to your listeners.
Great. Prof, good to have you. Now, we know that the policy document for the 24-hour economy has been laid in Parliament, referred to the Economic and Development Subcommittee of Parliament. Some have been raising questions as to the delay in implementing this continuously since the government got into power, the 24-hour economy. What do you say, first of all?
I mean, the 24-hour economy, I believe, is the government to make the structural transformation changes that we are envisaging for our economy, because our economy has to change its structure of production and its focus on becoming more export promoting or import substitution rather than being import dependent. And the 24-hour economy is, I read from what the government has put out there, is going to be the blueprint to facilitate that transformation. Now, so it needs to be well thought through, because, I mean, initially when it came up somewhere 2023, 2024, there were discussions. I mean, as to how it can be done for it to have the desired impact. So I guess it's in that process of taking feedback and deliberating about the policy that has gone on up to now. I don't believe that it's delayed too much. We need to think through it very well. We've made previous attempts at trying to do export promotion, import substitution, industrialization, to change the structure of our economy and to even improve business processes for our friends, our industries, to enjoy a stable environment where the cost of doing business is low, so that it can also be competitive and then also be able to generate jobs and so on and so forth. So I don't think it's delayed too much. I mean, it's better late than never. So, I mean, we should take a look at it and then quickly, as soon as possible, whatever has to be passed by Parliament is passed, so that the government can rule its 24-hour economic blueprint for Ghana.
I see. Let me invite also Mr. Nelson Kujo Kwagbaji. He is a financial and tax analyst. Sir, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, good morning, my brother, and thanks for having me.
Great. Now, 24-hour economy, we're inching closer and closer towards the implementation of the campaign promise and pledge, which promises to create some more jobs. But then you are the financial and tax analyst here. What are we looking at? What buffers should the government be putting in place in terms of trying to rake in more revenue as people work round the clock 24 hours?
Well, I have always been saying that this program shouldn't end like the way other programs that we have had in the past ended. I mean, normally government has beautiful programs, but the implementation has always been the problem. Now, from the document that was released initially, the 24-hour economy policy was supposed to capacitate the private sector.
Right.
And so the private sector was supposed to, as it were, be, supported in diverse ways for them to contribute their quota towards the growth that we all desired. And so I am looking up to that, most especially in terms of the incentives that that the government intends to give to, the private sector. I mean, those tax incentives, they shouldn't just be like what we have done in the past, and then people were giving money for free, and the politicians themselves turn around to, actually benefit from that package. I mean, it should be something that is structured so that we don't lose so much tax revenue in terms of the tax exemption that will be granting to the companies that will sign up to the 24-hour economy policy.
Right. Prof, let me bring you back in and ask you, now we know the law is there, the policy document has been presented, but what do we need to have and to hold on to before we can convince ourselves that we are fully ready to roll this out and we are sure of the benefits that will come to us?
I mean, if you take 24-hour economies that have been, being successful elsewhere, there are very key components that make it successful. Well, the infrastructure base should be there. I mean, the infrastructure to support the private sector production and growth should enable that to happen. And so we need to build infrastructure, not only in terms of energy, but in terms of road. We need to build infrastructure in terms of even the soft infrastructure, the technology, and all of them to support the 24-hour economy. We should also, at least deliberately as a country, begin to provide incentives to encourage the consumption of domestic goods that are produced. Because when there's a demand for the goods that are being produced by our private sector, there'll be the need for them to roll a 24-hour production base. And so it is very important that there's a demand for what is being produced. If you go to countries in the, advanced countries, there's demand for whatever is produced there. So factories roll over, their production over the entire day, for 7 days in a week. So the demand is also very important, and it's good that our public procurement gives the first priority to domestically produced goods. I mean, of course, they have to be competitive. Apart from that, there should be in place the security to protect the movements of persons up and down around the clock to ensure that people are safe to go to their places, factories to work and all of that.
Right.
And we should also make sure that the public transportation is available for people to move around without having to fear any issue about working, going about their normal duties at night. I mean, because of safety reasons and so on and so forth. And also, most importantly, the economy should be stable. I mean, and it's good that it's the time we are talking about 24-hour economy, because this is the time that the economy is showing some consistent stability. Prices are stable, the currency is stable, interest rates are declining. So all of these things are the sort of enabling factors that will make a 24-hour economy succeed. And this is the time, once you're enjoying the stability, that we need to roll out a policy of that sort and quickly support the private sector to take off in grand style, so that we begin to change the structure of our economy. We become more import substitution dependent instead of import dependent, and begin to promote more of our export along the value chain, higher value addition to export, and stop exporting the primary products that we do. And that will continue to support our economy in stabilizing our currency.
Right.
It will reduce our dependence on imports, and therefore any imported inflation that will come in. Once our currency is stable and we are less import dependent, and we are providing the sort of demand that domestic firms need, they will increase their production, produce 24 hours, generate employment for the youth who are looking for jobs, sustainable jobs that will help them to also make a decent living. And that is exactly what we need as a country. So, I mean, these are critical, pointers that would make a rollout of that policy very successful.
Interesting. Mr. Kwabenu, let me come back to you and ask you about tax compliance and the tax regime tariffs and how they are going to affect the things that Prof is talking about. For example, we want to produce more locally. We want to change the taste of our people, let our people consume what we produce so that we can strengthen our city. But then while they do all this, there will be tax components that will be injected, along the line. But we have a challenge with tax compliance, tax evasion, and also the tariffs. What can we do to make the story of 24 economy better?
All right. So I think this is a very good question. I'll look at it from two angles. The first angle is that once the companies, the private sector is capacitated to produce more, what it technically means is that their sales or revenue goes up. And once the sales or revenue goes up, they will declare the bottom line in a certain position, and that will benefit the government in terms of whatever, tax handle that affect the activity of that company. Again, government will be giving incentives, to encourage more of the companies to hook up onto the 24-hour economy, which means that at that angle too, government will be losing out on tax revenue. Already, if you look at our tax revenue, our collection in terms of tax revenue compared to the other, peers within the sub-region, in Ghana, we are not really doing well. And so it means that already there is a challenge there. Now, if you recall, the One District, One Factory program that was introduced by the previous administration, a lot of tax exemption were given to those companies that actually hook up onto the One District, One Factory.
That's right.
But today, what has become, of those companies? What tax revenue is government generating in terms of their activity? Are they even in existence? And so, in terms of the tax issues, I think we need to tread cautiously so that the exemptions that will be given to the companies will not far outweigh the benefit that government will gain in terms of its tax revenue. Again, the government wants to capacitate them because no matter how you look at it, this whole 24-hour economy idea will be private sector led. If Ghana Publishing Company is running shift, three people go in the morning, afternoon, in the evening, it doesn't really add anything. They are just rendering a service. But if you want the productive sectors of the economy to contribute towards overall growth as a result of the 24-hour economy, then it means that we have to do things differently. Now, the question is, are we going to serve only the domestic market, or are we going to serve the external market? So that is also another, consideration, because if you produce and there is no, demand for it, I mean, the goods will be in the warehouse. So I think that the focus will also be more on the exportation, so that whatever effect that will come in will also come to help Bank of Ghana to shore up its reserve and also to support the stability of the city.
Interesting. Prof, I'll bring you in now. And here, I want us to focus on tax mobilization versus tax utilization for the growth of the economy. You find a lot of business people and individuals complain of the fact that we pay so much tax, but when it comes to the government supporting us or helping us to grow our businesses, to spread our tentacles, to widen, to bring in some more people and to even scale up, then we are found wanting. How should the government be proceeding if we get this 24 economy agenda on the road?
Yeah, I mean, in some of the previous studies that I've done on small medium enterprises, you get a sense that the private sector are not worried about paying taxes. In fact, some of the firms do not even need a tax exemption if the business environment is right. And for them, what is more important for their growth, their productivity, their growth, is the business environment, which government mostly is responsible for ensuring that the environment is right. So as much as we should be looking at tax mobilization, I think that we need to provide the environment that will allow our private sector to thrive. Because when they do pay taxes. Now, so when you hear them complain, they are not complaining about the payment of the taxes. They are normally complaining about the business environment that is not conducive for that. And the tax itself is part of the business environment issues that they talk about. But more often than not, they are talking about infrastructure, having access to very cheap energy. I mean, should we go on subsidizing domestic consumption of electricity whilst we don't do that for the business? I mean, these are the questions that we need to ask as a country. That, look, if we want our private sector to grow, should we rather giving them cheap energy for them to produce so that they are competitive, so that they can employ more, so out of their employment we can generate the income taxes? Because countries that raise a lot of revenue raise them from income taxes.
Right.
And if we have a huge proportion of our youth, especially those from the universities that are looking for jobs, it's an opportunity to raise revenue out of them when you get them jobs. So we need to look at, and that's the issue we talk about when we talk about structural transformation. The business processes are very important.
Right.
I mean, how do our businesses incur a lower cost from the environment that they operate so that they become more productive, they become more efficient at cost, and then they become competitive, even if they want to export. And for those that do not export, that produce what we call the import substitutes, for them to be able to compete away the imports that come in because they are also competitive. More often than not, Ghanaians complain that, but the goods that are produced in Ghana are too expensive compared to what we are imported. That's why we buy the imported ones. And so if we can reduce the cost of the business environment to our domestic friends, they will be competitive with regards to the imports, and therefore it generates employment and all of that. So, yes, the government has a role to play, but don't forget that government also can make the business processes conducive through the taxes that it mobilizes and expends on the economy to improve those processes. In its roles, government has to look for funding to provide the roles. If it is other soft infrastructure that they need, government needs money to do that, and government collects the money from taxes. So these two are themselves reinforcing each other. So how do we pay more taxes so that government raises enough revenue and very efficient in their spending, especially the capital expenditure that is going to support the business environment? And that when the business environment improves and businesses are doing well, government gets back the revenue in terms of taxes and so on and so forth. So, so in sum, what we need to do as a country is, rather than giving tax incentives, rather to invest in the business processes and so that they reduce the cost of doing business. And I think that is key. And it's also going to be key in supporting the 24-hour economy. I mean, if business processes and environment are relatively cheaper for them to operate. I mean,
great.
And don't forget that apart from the domestic economy, we have the African sub-region under the AFTA to benefit from. I mean, a huge market in Africa. I mean, where the standards are not relatively as high as you would find in the more advanced countries. And it's a natural grounds for us to begin to prepare our domestic producers to do some exports and learn through that process so that by the time they've done enough learning, they can now even go and export to the highly advanced countries and compete there. And that is the way we need to go in changing the structure of our economy.
Prof, I'll stay with you and ask you, so now we know these things, but we will now be focusing on what I will call the low-hanging fruits or the sectors within the economy that can serve as a catalyst bouquet to start this 24-hour economy on, and on that premise, then make progress. Which sectors are we looking at?
Yeah, the first sector that is very important is the agro-processing industrialization. I mean, Ghana is endowed with agricultural resources, and we produce. I mean, just last year we had a food glut. I mean, what does it mean? To what extent are the food that we produce being processed at a higher value addition? For instance, if it's fruits, are we adding value to fruit so that we begin to produce the fruit juices that we import from South Africa and other places? Are we able to produce fruit juices out of the domestically produced fruits that we have in Ghana? So the first sector that is low-hanging and is waiting for the focus to add value is agro-processing. I mean, we can process all the type of foods that we produce in Ghana. That in itself would ensure that there's a ready market for our farmers. Because don't forget that the food glut that we've had last year is going to be a disincentive for farmers to produce this year. Because if what they produce is not being bought, and it's on the market, and nobody is buying them, there'll be no incentive for them to go back and be more productive. I mean, in Africa, especially in Ghana, you find that when food farmers are productive, they lose out on the market because the prices of their goods are so next for nothing, because there is no demand from the productive sector, that is the industries, for the goods that they produce. Because if the industries are relying on their output, there's an all-year demand for their goods, and therefore the prices that they get out of their farm produce will be relatively more stable and higher. And it provides an incentive for them and other private sector people to go into farming because there's a demand for what they produce, because the industries are waiting to add value. So agro-processing is one. Two is tourism. We need to tap into tourism to make money out of that. I mean, we don't have to wait till the Christmas where we are rolling out all of these very nice packages for foreigners or non-residents to come in droves to come and enjoy. I mean, when they come and they are living, the sort of impression they have about Ghana is something that we should tap through that all throughout the year. And it's an area that the government can focus on. It is labor intensive. You don't need high skills for those who serve in that sector. And it's an area that brings in instant forex. I mean, so it's like exporting services. That's what tourism does. And it brings in the forex, because they come in here, they do not only make available the foreign exchange that they come in with, but they come and demand the goods and services that are produced in the economy. So it has its own huge impact on domestic production and demand in the economy. Right. Then apart from agro-processing and what do you call it, in tourism, we need to look at light manufacturing. I mean, if we talk about light manufacturing, we are talking about the simple manufacturers, the ones that are not too difficult to do, like the pharmaceuticals and some of the light manufacturing, like producing some of these bolts and nuts that will help in supporting the domestic private sector in terms of the spare parts that they need for their machinery and so on and so forth. So these sectors are key sectors. I mean, for instance, if you have a sugar factory that is producing enough sugar for us, why would we be import dependent on sugar? If we support our domestic rice farmers and we are adding value to what they produce, why would we rely on imported rice? So these are areas in terms of the light manufacturing that we need to focus. Already the government has identified pharmaceuticals, light manufacturing, like what do you call it, vehicle assembly and the provision of what do you call it, basic what do you call spare parts in terms of the boots and nuts and all of those things that can be produced within the economy. And if you go to Shopping Magazine, the technology, even though it's very rudimentary, is there. So we can build up on that technology and also support them so that when the global auto giants come into the country to assemble cars or produce cars here, they have spare parts that are produced in the domestic economy to support the automobile industry. So these are areas that we need to concentrate on. And it looks like the previous government and the current government have identified the same sectors. So our challenges are the same. And we are all aware that our challenges are the same. And it's how to have a sustained policy focus on these sectors to give them the right support that they need to generate the employment and the output that we need. That is very important. And so Parliament should take a quick look at these documents and then quickly roll out this 24-hour economy, because that is what Ghana needs to build the resilience that we want.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Kwagbeji, let me come to you. And before I do that, let me also introduce Dr. Julius Jima. He is Executive Director, Center for Economics and Financial Analysis, has joined us here in studio as we zoom into the conversation about inflation, how it's dropped from 5.1 to 3.8 in January 2026. Mr. Kwagbeji, take a bite on this for me. People say, look, inflation is dropping, fuel prices are dropping, yes, but we have not seen anything.
So
have you seen anything?
Yes, I made mention of this on another platform yesterday that you don't attach emotions and sentiments to this data. I mean, this is a work that was done by the Ghana Statistical Service to collect data from the various parts of the country and come up with, this figure. And so we don't attach emotion to it. And I totally disagree with those who are having those sentiments. The fact of the matter is that we have seen a disinflationary pressure coming down since the beginning of last year. Even before that, if you recall, in December 2022, we had an inflation of 54%. Then in December 2024, inflation was around 23.8%. But, I mean, as at the end of last year, it was 5.4%, even far below the Bank of Ghana's medium-term target band of 8% plus or minus 2. Now, the question that you ask yourself is, what are the drivers of the disinflationary pressure? I mean, you can quickly link it to the conversation that we had earlier. I mean, food inflation has significantly reduced. I mean, we had food glut from somewhere latter part of last year till now. I mean, that has significantly, contributed to the disinflationary pressure. If you go to the pump, I've always been saying it, that if you want to test the temperature of our economy, just go to the pump. We have enjoyed relative stability of prices at the pump. I mean, transport fares were stable for some time now. And, I mean, these were some of the factors that actually contributed to the disinflationary pressure. Now, the question is, the hajia at the roadside, the kinky seller at the roadside, why is it that they are not reducing the prices of their goods or even the quantity or the size of the ball of
exactly.
kinky? Now, the fact of the matter is that these are attitudinal issues. You understand? Because, see, the lady who sells watches just opposite TV3, when you go there, want to buy 10 series of 50, she will give you the same ladder that she's been giving you some few years ago.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
But technically speaking, you realize that when you go to the market, even look at the pumps. I mean, I used to fill my car with about 780 Ghana cedis. Now I fill my car a little over 350 Ghana cedis. So look at the savings that I have made. Even in during Christmas time, when there was so much demand for, goods for Christmas, food stuff generally remained relatively stable, and some were even dropping, marginally. And so, in terms of the impact, I think the impact is there for everybody to see. Now, the question is, how do we sustain this single-digit inflation going forward? Now, if you listen to what the director said yesterday, we have come to the point of stability. I mean, we expect that prices will remain stable going forward, which also presupposes that policy rate needs to go down further, because if inflation is at 3.8% and policy rate is at 15.5%, the gap is still huge. And so we expect the policy rate to come down by some 200 to 300 basis points, so that lending rate can also come down. Now, this time around, we have a governor who is more fixated on achieving single-digit lending rate. What it means is that if the rate continues to drop down further, I know the Ghana reference rate is around 14, a little over 14%.
14.58, yes.
Exactly, 14.58%.
That's right.
The 91-day Treasury bill is around 10.8%.
That's right.
Okay, and if the policy rate is at 15.5%, it means that we are actually inching towards single-digit inflation. Now, let me also single-digit lending rate. Sorry, let me also say that the private sector participation in the 24-hour economy also hinges on cost of capital. you get it? So the fact that you are providing incentives, you are providing security, but the cost of capital is high, that may stifle the progress that the 24-hour economy will make. And so I think the inflation rate is genuine. They reflect actually the temperature of the economy, because prices in the market have generally come down. Prices at the pumps have generally come down. And so those who are saying that, oh, we are not feeling it in our pocket, I think that I will not share in that sentiment.
I see. Julius, let me bring you in, Dr. Jemai, and pick your thoughts about this drop in inflation for the average market woman, the trotro driver, the taxi driver, the driver's mates, the coconut seller. What should this mean to them? Because oftentimes they tell you, how should they understand it? What should it mean to them?
Right. Good morning. Happy New Year, Johnny.
Right.
I think it's my first time this year.
That's right.
That's right. So good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers.
Right.
And then also good morning to my colleagues who you were doing the discussion.
Right.
So, to the ordinary Ghanaian, so we would say it will not mean anything. Because that is what is happening. Because if you go to the markets and then you ask them why, when things are coming down, when inflation is coming down, they are just there. You ask them and they, we don't know. Sometimes they give some funny reactions. But just as analysts, we would want to say that it has to bring some kind of comfort, some kind of relief for the ordinary Ghanaian. But as to whether we'll get this real relief in the system, is the simple answer is that we must begin to see some income rising in our lives.
Right.
Yes, that is what is going to happen for us to enjoy the relief that we want to enjoy. The issue is that we have hit what we call the new normal.
Okay.
In times of rising inflation, what happened was that prices escalated, and all those prices have become the new normal. So when you are in the new normal, people are just selling prices at higher prices.
Okay.
And it's been a whole year that government have fought inflation, and that is impressive. And the record that we are reporting or analyzing is also a groundbreaking record for us. But the issue is that people are still maintaining the prices that they are still selling, and the issue is that they also want to be making their profit. They want to stay afloat. They are still concerned about their profit margins. They don't want to reduce it, and that is where we are now. So we can get a real relief when we begin to see wages, salaries also going up, so that it will come to compensate for how much we have spent over the years, the losses that we have witnessed, household income that have been depleted as a result of rising inflation. And we should understand that inflation only measures the speed with which prices of goods and services just either go up or reduce. It's just like a speedometer of a car. So we need to understand some of these principles so that we don't put so much pressure on government, and we also don't put so much pressure on businesses as well. I think this education needs to go down so that at least we'll be able to understand what is happening. I believe I have checked what is going to happen so that we can get price reduction, and all the indicators government have done so well. The government have done 3. The only 2 left is what I'm talking about, which is we begin to see some income rising.
That's right.
Yes, in our compensation and then in our works and all that, and then also we can get some strong competition in our industrialization drive, local production. I believe one of the earlier analysts were talking about import substitution.
That's right, Prof.
And
Prof.
So we need to focus on local production and make sure that there's competition in the system. And then I believe you were discussing the 24-hour economy.
That's correct.
the issue that government have to be careful is about this incentive. My brother was talking about it. You know, these incentives, people just take advantage of it, but it does not translate it into real
Is that
growth.
because we don't monitor to evaluate?
You see, Johnny, we do, but if you look at the characteristics of the Ghanaian economy, it's something. People just want to enjoy. They don't want to pay tax. You know, I'm a tax guy. So
That's right.
the things are really happening on the ground. Now, they will trace it back to government owing them, and government is not paying them. As we speak, there are bills, certificates, payments that have accrued to government, and government is not paying them. The private sector also depend hugely on government for jobs, for businesses, for contracts, and what have you. So people just say that, with the taxes, we are not getting the money. Why should we pay the taxes? No matter the tax policies that government have churned out, what have we seen? We've seen a reduction in taxes. Some have been abolished. Some we still appealing for more. But still, businesses do not want to respond, and that is how the nature of the Ghanaian business trader. We continue to impress upon them to be able to fulfill that side of their responsibility as a civic responsibility, and I believe that's what the GRA has been doing over the time. So once we're able to see an appreciation of our income, which is our salaries, our wages, and then there's a competition, a healthy competition in the market so far as production will be concerned, I believe the 24-hour economy will be able to support that. Then we can get the real relief that we want to enjoy from this, this inflation period. But until then, we are still in the new normal. Prices have been escalated already. People are just keeping the price, and the reason is that the fear of the unknown, the fear of tomorrow.
Let me bring in Prof, and I'll bring you in and ask you how long it will take for this drop in inflationary pressure to actually hit the pockets of the people. What more can the government do, for example, because we came from 23.8% down to 5.4, now 5.1, and then now we're at 3.8. But what else do we need to see? 1.2 before we start feeling
Johnny,
it? Yes,
let me explain what inflation is, so that the misconception about inflation and prices should be clear. The word inflation means that prices are increasing.
Right.
Now, when you say inflation, there's disinflation. It means that the rate at which the prices are increasing are slowing down. So if we see inflation at 3.8, it means that between January of 2025 and January of 2026, the rate at which general prices in Ghana has increased is 3.8%. So inflation is an increase in prices. So relative to January 2025, prices have increased generally by 3.8%. In the market basket, that represents the typical basket that a household in Ghana consumes. In this basket, there are several goods, which you can split into two: food items, both imported and domestically produced food, and non-food items. Now, the part about the reason why it's difficult to see that transfer straight ahead into the pocket of Ghanaians is that, in the first place, it's an increase in price.
Right.
So therefore, I mean, the only bit is that if you compare to last year, the rate at which prices were increasing now is slower. So for you as a consumer, it is a benefit in some way. So, for some time now, milk has not increased. The price of milk has stayed the same. So I'm benefiting from it in where I've learned. If, for instance, I'm a private sector worker and my base pay has increased by 10%, then what it means is that now with my given income, I can buy more things of milk if I spend some part of my income on milk. That's what it means. Because the price of milk has not increased as much as my income has increased.
Right.
So you feel it in your pocket in that way. But it is not for the price of goods to decline. However, there are some items in the basket whose prices will decline because they are imported. And therefore, when the currency appreciated, their prices will drop because their prices are dependent on the exchange rates. So those items, and when you go to some of the shops, you find out that those items that are imported, their prices have declined for some of them. But this market basket is made up of a whole lot of goods that together we have a composite index called the Consumer Price Index, whose rate of change is what we call the inflation. So inflation itself, even if it decelerates or there's disinflation, doesn't mean that you should expect prices to decline. As an individual, you should now feel comfortable that the rate at which prices were increasing in the past has slowed down significantly. And for me, relating to my past, I'm better off when it has not transferred itself into my pocket. And like the other panelist said, if you go to the pump to buy fuel, you are getting more fuel. And therefore, if anything you do, you factor into the cost of fuel into your pricing, naturally you should reduce the price because the cost of fuel has declined.
Right.
So when you go to buy the kinky, if the cost of transportation was part of the kinky seller's kinky, it might not necessarily reduce the price from 5 cedis to 4 cedis. It might make the ball of kinky a little bit much bigger.
Right.
So as for economic gains transferring itself into our pocket or transforming into our pocket, it means that we need to work more to gain more income whose rate of change surpasses the change in the prices of the economy before you can feel it in your pocket.
But then, so how then does the Statistical Service and the government keep drumming it into our ears when we really will not be feeling it immediately?
So they are drumming in your pocket because what it means is that the economy is stable, prices are stable.
Right.
That will transform into the policy rate. The policy rate will transform into the interest rate. And then the private sector can borrow at a cheaper rate and become competitive and expand production. And then people get jobs. So the impact of macro stability tends to take time to transform into the economy and into people's pockets. It shouldn't be immediate. And like you said, the governor currently has clearly said that he is looking at a time when interest rate in Ghana will be offered at, 10%, below 10%. As we speak, some commercial banks are offering 15% interest.
That's right.
16% interest.
That's right.
And look at where we've come from. So if the prices are stable and inflation is relatively low, the policy rate drops down, the reference rate drops down, and the economy is expanding, private sector credit would expand. And therefore, firms can borrow, employ more people because they are going to make more if they increase their output, and all of that. And this is the environment that we talk about when we say there's macro stability.
I hear you.
And the macro stability will transform into pockets when people get jobs and they are working because things are relatively easier for the businesses. So instead of working 4 hours a day, they say you work 8 hours because there's demand for what you are producing because prices are relatively stable. People can plan, that is how we should expect it. But it's not going to transform into your pocket instantly when there's no inflation.
I hear you. Mr. Kwagbeji, let me pick your closing thoughts on this matter. We put together the 24-hour economy and then the inflation rates that has dropped for January 3.8% into perspective and wrap up for me, sir.
All right, thank you very much. As we all agree, the 24-hour economy is going to be a game changer if and only if it will be implemented very well. As I did indicate, we have had similar programs and policies in the past, but the end result wasn't that good for the economy. I made mention of the one district, one factory. Right. And so we are just praying and hoping that this is a policy that will, at the end of the day, achieve its intended objective. However, as we have all agreed, if you are capacitating the private sector to lead the 24-hour economy, then it means that the cost of doing business and, for that matter, cost of capital must also come down so that those businesses can go. Because tax incentive alone is not enough. Giving them police to guard them is not enough. They need money to work with. And so if lending rates are down, we expect them to go and borrow money to expand their operation. And so it is the expectation that now that inflation is even lower than the Bank of Ghana's medium-term target of 8% plus or minus 2, lending rate should go down further. Lending rate should go down further so that businesses, most especially SMEs, who actually need cheap source of funds to expand, can actually go in for those funds to expand their operation. I've always been saying that in every economy, the SMEs are the lifeblood of those economies, because see, all these multinationals and giant companies that we have, the day they will pull out of our economy will crash. And so it is always prudent and economically advisable that you support your SMEs to grow organically within your jurisdiction, so that they can support the overall growth of the economy.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for your time. We are very, very grateful that you spent your money with us. Mr. Nelson Kudjo Kwagbaji is a financial and tax analyst. We're grateful, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Professor Festus Ebo Texin, you have the closing thought on this one. Stepping for me, and I want us to focus in wrapping up on monitoring, evaluation, and how to also target those that we believe can bring us the quick gains. What do you say?
Those you can target to bring us. Oh, you mean the sectors?
Yes, the sectors.
Yeah, I mean, so I've mentioned the sectors already, and I know there's some work that is ongoing to support those sectors. I mean, in the past, the 1U1F was centered around those sectors anyway, and the government has come up with a 24-hour economy that is also looking at those sectors. So we are quite clear on the sectors that we need to enhance our structural transformation and our growth. What we need now is to quickly roll out the 24-hour economy with all the supportive policies. And this is the time to do that. Normally, when the economy is enjoying some stability, you make the structural changes that you need, because at times all the structural changes come with a little bit of cost. And this is the time you do that, I mean, when things are serene. And so we quickly need to take advantage of the fact that gold prices are doing well, our exports are doing well, we are building reserve buffers, the economy is stable, the city is stable, inflation is low, interest rates are dropping, to facilitate that structural transformation that we need, so that by the time maybe the external factors are working against us, our domestic production has kicked off under the 24-hour economy, and our economy can withstand those external shocks. So it is important that we move as soon as possible to support those industries. And therefore, the private sector should be happy that it's going to come around this time. They should be happy that things are becoming relatively more stable for them. And like you said, we expect the Monetary Policy Committee in their later meetings to also reduce the policy rate, so that the real rates will be low, so that interest rates will drop for our private sector to go and borrow and expand production. So it looks quite very, very promising in the near term. So let us quickly take advantage of that and roll out the 24-hour economy.
Thank you very, very much indeed. We're grateful that you could join us. Professor Festus Ebo Texin is with the University of Ghana. He's with the Economics Department, and he joined us here. Prof, thank you so much indeed.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And Dr. Julius Jima is still in studio with me. We will be looking at wrapping up. Doc, now, this inflation, you have explained, and the other two panelists have explained. We now know what inflation is and why it may not instantaneously reflect in the lives of the people. But how low can we get to say that then we are in a better place?
Okay, Johnny, I think that we usually the target is that you hit a single-digit inflation.
Right.
And government have already done that last year. Still, we are there. I believe where we have gotten to, most of the things that government have done, probably government will have to go back and review some of the policies, especially with the macroeconomics, and then also looking at the role that the Bank of Ghana have played last year, which is the financial intermediation they did for us last year. I have, every confidence with the current, administration of the Bank of Ghana, looking at how they are balancing their reserves and making sure that there's some dollars in the system to be able to support with, supply. For now, since we've already hit the single-digit inflation, what we should expect is the negative, inflation that we are all hoping, which is that will be the time that prices really will have to. So far, so good. I mean, the only target is that you hit single digit, and we have done it far better.
Right.
Because even December was 5.4, like you said, it came 5.1.
Yeah.
And now we are doing 3.8. What else more can government go again? So now everything is fine. What is left is that government will now have to begin. I was discussing that is it the time government should look at having a price regulatory board or a price control regulatory board, so that their mandate will not be to force people to reduce prices, but again to be able to continue with the stakeholder engagement. You see, the finance minister at the time of the budget presentation, he went to the market. People were talking about the fact that the timing was, very close. But when we have this price regulatory control board, what they will be doing for the finance minister is to be engaging the business community. People are just, if not for the education that the media have been doing, people really don't know what is going on. The market women, my brother talked about tomato glute. Yes, you can go and, the price are there, but some will still be selling at the prices that they are selling. So when these boards or committee would be able to engage the business community, they prompt them. So they become like a prompter.
Okay.
Do you know that this is what is happening? Do you know that policy rate is this? Do you know that interest rate now has been reduced? Inflation now has been reduced. Then they will begin to reflect and go back to their businesses. And this is where costing is very important. But you look at production, the factors of production, it is, land, labor, material, and what have you. So when they look at the factors of production and they are doing their total costing, now they will begin to factor in their direct material, their direct labor. They are talking about overheads. These are things that goes into the price and when you are doing production. As for those that do the import, they don't have any case because now the city has been appreciating. There's relative stability in the system. And I said earlier on that government have already achieved that. And what Gold Board Initiative, Big Brother IMF have supported over the past 3 years, we are on that path.
How do we sustain this continuous positive show of a reduction in inflation? What should government be looking at and doing effectively?
Discipline. Government would just have to be disciplined as they have been last year. Because the things that we saw previous years ago was, the indiscipline in the system, and then also we've been discussing this financial prudence. So I've seen that the current finance minister is really at it. He's applying his accounting principle. So he's doing the prudence concept very well. He's making sure that all the liabilities, I'll take care of it. But if I'm here to get a revenue, let me get the revenue before I enjoy. And what he's doing is that he has been going around with the GRA and trying to, tell them to be able to raise the revenue drive for the country. So if the government continue to remain disciplined, continue to tighten up, because these are the things that, Johnny, we've been discussing over the years. So budget deficit, expenditure, there is no control, people are spending. And look at what the Ministry of Finance is doing. Now, if you want to buy, if you want to procure, you need to go to them for approval.
Need a certificate.
Yeah, so we are looking at procurement issues, the things that drain government coffers and put government finances in jeopardy is public procurement. So we just talk about public procurement, they go to PPA for approval. No, PPA will just give you the approval and making sure that you've gone through the Public Procurement Act and a shortlisting for vendors.
Tick every box.
Yes.
But the approval to empower you to demand for it to be paid must come from the finance ministry.
Exactly, that is where the money is. Government budget for goods and services in the budget. So if the line items you've not been budgeted for, or government do MMDA budgets in the ministries, they all submit their budget to the finance minister. Sometimes the minister will be there, and the minister in a particular sector will engage a supplier or a vendor for a job that that the financial burden would be forwarded to the Ministry of Finance to pay. And the minister doesn't even have an idea of what is going on. So now it gives some form of a supervisory role for the minister now to look at all the sectors of the ministries that we have and then make sure that he's not controlling, because I believe that people are saying that, the finance minister, people are not happy with him because he's controlling everything. No, we shouldn't see it that way.
Nobody likes a headmaster.
Exactly. So, and it comes comes into the discipline part I'm talking about, let's understand that the president has a mandate. This is his legacy term. The minister is trying to ride, making sure that everybody is on board. We should understand it from that perspective, and everybody should align. Once we get all the MMDAs aligned with what the Minister of Finance and the President is doing, there wouldn't be any qualms at all. And what they will do is that they will support the growth that we are expecting. So the key thing is that we should
discipline, tighten spending,
and be more
smart.
financial. More financial. Prudent.
My final question to you is that you hear voices from the side of the minority that suggest that this growth we're experiencing, this inflationary figures that are dropping, the strength of the CD, etc., are all artificial. They are not sustainable because we are pumping. There's more on the supply side, and in terms of the demand side, you don't see much happening there. What do you say? Is this artificial?
No, it's not artificial. I mean, if you look at the Bank of Ghana explained this thing clearly. What if you study financial markets? What the banks do is financial intermediation.
Right.
They look for money and give to those who need it. So Bank of Ghana looks for dollars and gives to those who need the dollar. We have understood that our economy is an import-driven economy. So if you lose yourself up, Johnny, you import everything and we'll go back to square zero again. Now, why did we go to the IMF? We said that to balance of payments, we are doing trade deficit. We are in a situation where our trade, deficit exceed the surpluses, BOP support. Right. So we went to the IMF. What did we go there? It's for dollars.
That's right.
So now, IMF has supported us, and then they've tried to put us on the right path and build confidence for our economy.
Right.
Times from 2 years back the line, look at our currency. It was depreciating about 56%. Right. One of the worst performing currency together with that of Sri Lanka. So now, God being so good, if we have a commodity, and I've been studying the commodity market, what is not so good news is about the cocoa sector, but gold is doing well. Even recently, gold price was going up, and look at what happened with what Trump did. The price started crashing. So if we have a commodity, all that we can do is to support the initiatives of the gold purchase program and then the gold board, what they are doing. We should pay attention to the gold board, their operations, their financial. I've been going through their financial statement, and they're doing so well. So let's at times put the politics aside, look at the real issues and see if you were there, what are you going to do?
Should government, for example, be going back, and this is based on a comment here by Neron D. Boanigas. He says we have simply reverted to the Kalabule era. The government may need to consider reinstating price controls. This situation is concerning. What do you say to that?
I think I said something that government should have some price regulation control board just to make sure that people are on check. As humans as we are, no matter what effort that government will put in, if you leave your people to decide, they would always dictate the pace for you. And we don't want a situation whereby the citizenry or the business community is far ahead. Like I said, people do not want to reduce their profit margins or their profit markups. People are getting a price reduction or cost reduction on the side of government, but they don't want to translate when it comes to their margins. So that is what is happening. So I support his comment that they are not just going to force them, because we are operating in a free market era now or regime. What they will just do is that they engage them. Exactly, the tell attitude, because somebody will not know, somebody would still maintain the same price at that level, and then, like they said, being clever bully, they will just take advantage of the system. So when this price control board is there, they'll be engaging them like we've been seeing with the GUTA, the Traders Advocacy Group, and the engagement will go down. Finance Minister by now should now be engaging with the community, and I don't want the responsibility to be by the minister. He's doing the budget, he's doing the macroeconomics, he's making payments, and the same person will move to the market and be collecting price and be asking, the traders that how are we doing, what's your price level. It's good, for the optics, but we need to have some small committee
that's working
a working committee that will go to the market and then be doing the tell attitude, be engaging more, and then doing the education with the market women so that it will help us.
It's 9:37 here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. My name is Johnny Hughes, and I've been engaging with Dr. Julius Chima, his Executive Director, Center for Economics and Financial Analysis. Earlier you had Professor Festus Ibu-Texin, the Economics Department of the University of Ghana. Also Nelson Kujo Kwagbechi is a finance and tax analyst. We'll be talking about the 24-hour economy and also the inflation drop from 5.1% to 3.8% in January 2026. Now, we will wrap up this conversation with something that the president said about the 24-hour economy. Right after that, Chairman Wontumi Ichiboisiako, he is determined to become the next chairman of the New Patriotic Party. We'll get the details right after this.
And over the past 6 months, the 24-hour plus secretariat under the presidential advisor, Mr. Guzitano, and his team has undertaken an extensive national engagement process. They've listened to entrepreneurs, both large and small, both formal and informal. They've listened to organized labor, cooperatives, farmers, and traders. They've listened to artists, technologists, traditional rulers, and religious bodies. They've consulted with diaspora groups, development agencies, investors, and infrastructure experts. They've talked to youth and women's organizations, scientists, and educational institutions.
Sunrise on 3
Alongside the private sector, the Secretariat has worked with government ministries, departments, and agencies to align regulatory, fiscal, and institutional frameworks to the program. The 24-hour plus agenda comprises synergistic sub-programs that are tailored to key value chains, and you must have heard the ministers mentioning them. These include Grow 24. Now, Grow 24 is about boosting agricultural productivity, agro-processing, and food security. Make 24 is about revitalizing our manufacturing and industrialization. Build 24 is about accelerating infrastructure, construction, housing, and public works. Show 24 is about harnessing Ghana's rich creative, cultural, and tourism assets. And Connect 24 is about fixing our logistic chains, transport warehousing, ports, energy, and digital infrastructure. And Fund 24 is about unlocking innovative financing through credit guarantee schemes, blended finance, and venture capital. Aspire 24 is about building the skills of our people, our values, our ethics, and digital capacity for competitiveness.
Sunrise on
And
3
Goal 24 is about mobilizing all sectors, religious, security, academic, and civic, for national productivity and pride.
The big conversation on 3FM Sunrise.
NPP Development in Freedom. NPP Development in Freedom.
Say, any time you look at translate together some yeah. But Ghana, says here, I mean, say, call I found say, +2, call +2. Now call I found say, Missinia, baby, Canada, Japan, I where your friend say, Banas, call Banas, no coffee fufu. What you say? Many are committing a boat so many places. Now call Macao. Koko se enipa yatra se na edidi kofia fiabu na koko se Ghana ha se enam se ya papa akufu adu ayentino now no still no we are still conglomerating and agglomerating eating what you say and doing things together.
Maybe you will speak like a Pharisee. You know, if you are not careful, your question and your work will be like a Pharisee, because you don't, even if you know, you pretend you don't know. Because of the COVID, the president make a law or pass a decree that no one can conglomerate or agglomerate in any place.
And yes, Madame Funiwe,
And yes, I mean, the way they walk, and yes, way na yatinting, and yes, way na me penasem. Name mom, dear, didn't acquire Robert Miaji to me in a mayano. Me poacho constituency executives, I am wire. Council of Elders, me poacho 1 year didn't call election 2028 or Barine. Coordinators, me poacho 1 year funding call election 2028. Police station, police station, police station, police station, police station, police station, police station. I am 1 year funding call election 2028. I am 1 year funding call. I am 1 year funding call.
Sunrise on
I am 1 year funding call.
in the morning.
Mesdames et Kassani Barrière, nous moutier. Moutier. Et ni pas nous mouna, on m'a pas tout mini n'ano. On m'a n'a ya MPP fort. On m'a n'a na quoi moye. Nasu so. Ba coupa en ou n'a coupa y ne sait. I was why a flag bearer. Ye free ha kopa. E bi ba mesia chire. Mesramo Asante region. As Asante regional chairman adia ba kopa na mesramo. Mumma yen speaking one voice. Let's use our votes to speak one voice. Let's direct ourselves and vote for Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. He's our future. He's the future of Ghana. So we are going to vote massively for Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. May God bless you all. I love you. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all.
And that's the voice of Chairman, as is popularly known. On the 4th of February, that's yesterday, he indicated his intention to filling the slot of the national chairman of the NPP. Here's a personal statement from him. As our party has faced challenges and learned hard lessons along the way. At this critical moment, the NPP demands leadership that is steady, principled, and committed to unity. A leader who is grassroots personified, who values every Bernard Ntwi-Boesiaku chairman Wontumi, having consulted my maker and sought the counsel of party elders, hereby declare my intention to serve as national chairman of the New Patriotic Party. I do so not for personal ambition, but to strengthen, rebuild, and unify our great party. The road ahead will demand vision, courage, and unwavering determination. Leadership at this moment requires bravery, the courage to stand firm, make difficult decisions, and to be willing to lose everything, if necessary, for the NPP. We are ready. We are organized. We are built for the battle ahead. Together, we will restore confidence, empower our grassroots, and position the NPP to win decisively in 2028. This is our moment to rise, to lead, and to deliver for the NPP. God bless the New Patriotic Party. God bless our democracy. God bless our motherland, Ghana. Signed, Bernard Ntwi-Boesiaku Wontumi, Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, who now wants to scale up his role and get into the national chairmanship of the NPP. And we've been joined on the phone line by Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochri. He is a political analyst and is also a lecturer. Prof, thank you very much indeed for your time. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
It appears you are a bit behind time. Currently, your brother is the executive director of the African Institute of Strategic Studies.
Absolutely, and I'll keep this one in my rep now. But Chairman Wontumi has made his intentions clear. I mean, there were talks in the vineyard, but now he stepped forward to come and say this. Is this the right time?
Well, I think it is the right time for him to make such a gesture. He's not hidden that fact some previous months ago, and now he's put that into some kind of writing. I mean, if you read the piece, it's very impressive, but he is not a writer. He did not author that particular paper.
Why are you so confident about that?
But we know his level of articulation. When it comes to the local language, fantastic. But the kind of hilarious English language that's been used over the period, that is not his language. In fact, he's not gotten to that level yet. That is why I'm saying confidently that he did not write it, though the piece is good. You're not too worried about that. Well, he's communicated his vision and mission. He's communicated what he desires for the party and why he wants to, take up that particular position.
Are you suggesting, Doc, that he perhaps spoke in Twi and somebody had to write it in English for him?
Well, that could be possible. But he is not the author of such a masterpiece. But you see, if we want to go into the nitty-gritty, I mean, has MPP gone down the web, the lower, I don't know how to put it, but I think that they would have been in the lowest ebb of their political, fortune and history to have somebody like Mr. Wontumi to be their national chairman.
You think that
they would have been
not
a
the
part
best
of
fit?
Ridicule.
He is not the best fit. Chairman Wontumi is not the best fit.
He has certain qualities, probably in terms of organizational, and then having been endowed with huge resources, he has a deep pocket, so to speak.
Right.
But when he was arrested and he needed to, put forth certain assets to serve as his bail condition,
right,
he was not able to produce that. Maybe because he didn't want his assets to be known. I can't tell. But in the public domain, with Akwanta mining and all the kinds of things that he's been doing, demonstrating and showing gold bars, on live TV and so on and so forth. Of course, then he has resources. A certain mansion that has been displayed in the social media, as to whether it is his or not. As for me, I can't tell. But those who went there to do the video and they say he owns that particular facility. But he was not able to, meet his bail condition. But I'm of the view that, look, how can MPP think of bypassing Mr. Jackson, even John Bredu? Who else has expressed that interest?
Paul Afoko. Is also on the bill. Yes. Some have suggested that he comes back as national chairman of the party. But then, if you look at the statement, Chairman Wontumi is talking about leadership that is steady, leadership that is principled and committed to unity. He also talks about bravery and courage. At this time,
let's look at unity.
Does he personify these attributes?
He doesn't. He may have been one of the reasons why Mr. Kennedy contested the flag bearership in 2023.
You don't say?
Yes, he may have been one of the reasons, because Mr. Kennedy in Japan wanted to show some people who have made themselves tin gods within the party that they did not have the locus as they were proclaiming. So when he contested and got that 37-38%, it was a message sent to the likes of Wontumi and all those who were making it appear as though they owned the party. And he has continued that fight in the 2026, presidential primaries that just took place on the 31st of January. Unity, he doesn't. The other quality that he mentioned is what?
Bravery, talks about grassroots, talks about value, talks about principles, and a leader that is steady.
Bravery, he has a comic way of exhibiting bravado. But grassroots, yes. Grassroots, he has that kind of quality. He knows how to energize the grassroots in some comic fashion. And some of these comic, pronouncement that he makes. He has a very funny way of gelling with the grassroots. That one I can give him.
Now, the MPP just had this presidential primaries that talks about post-primaries reconciliation, trying to patch up unity, trying to regain the confidence of the Ghanaian electorate to win 2028 elections and all of that. Does Wontumi stand a chance of being able to do all of that to make sure that the MPP then now attracts the people who may be disgruntled, who have left, and who have become acrimonious?
Well, that appears to be the mission, the vision of Dr. Bawumia. So we just have to hope that it works. Unfortunately, they seem to be going about with an erroneous impression that 2 million of their support base did not come to vote.
Right.
So I'm sure they are going to look for those 2 million. And I've told them that 2 million is not a check in the bank that you can sign and then go and take it. You have no determination to know that they are MPP or MDC. And I was telling them that I know some few guys who were northerners. They had to travel to the north 2024, but they didn't have what it takes to travel to that place. And I asked them, I interviewed them. They were NDC people. So that is an erroneous impression that they have had. Besides, if you look at the wind of change that was blowing in 2024, if these 2 million people, they were to take part in the elections, probably they will have increased the percentage of Mr. Mahama against Dr. Bawumia. So if they are going on a reconciliatory path, that is good. But they should erase from their memory that erroneous impression that 2 million of their support base. I think it is very unstrategic from the word go. You have certain people, you have identified known faces within the MPP that have become disgruntled, they have become apathetic against the establishment, and they have, decided not to be part of the whole process. Yet, for now, luckily for them, some of them have not joined the UP Plus. So you can certainly go with an olive branch to bring them back. After all, when you are in opposition, you can sweet talk these people. And as usual, we know that when the power comes, they behave differently. So it is for these followers to decide whether they will be well convinced by the rhetoric of Dr. Bawumia to be able to, come back to the camp when they are in opposition.
What if nobody else expresses interest and it is just Woon to me at the top? He will then become the presumptive national chairman of the MPP. You say that is recipe for disaster? Is that what I hear you say?
What administrative, policy does he have? Does he know? Apart from the idea of this grassroots thing, of which he does in a very comic fashion, what quality is he bringing? Is it a buga type of politicking? Or the comedy of errors that he puts forth for everybody else to laugh over? I mean, MPP will have become a laughing stock. Besides, at this point in time, it's a wrong timing for him and for the party for him to be considered. When he has an issue, right, in the court to deal with, openly, your sister station, colleagues out there, we have, a video recording of our contact mining and all those things. I have read the Facebook page of Dr. Sremsai on how the attorney, they have closed their case. So it is now left with the lawyers or the lawyer of Woon to me to also come with a defense. I'm told that the lawyer will want to file, no case. But of course, they say that they are going to oppose that. So
right.
If you look at the issues at stake now on the banner, I mean, the timing is very wrong on his part. But I know very well that it is because he doesn't stand a chance again in Ashanti region. That's the more reason why he wants to move from Ashanti region and go to the national level. Well, he's also, one of the guys in the good books of Dr. Bawumia. And if Dr. Bawumia is going to use his position as a flag bearer, which I know most of the executive positions, they will really want to push over those who might have supported Ken, Brian and co. And they will want to have the yes men of Dr. Bawumia, at most of the executive or national, regional constituency in the positions. In their mind, if they have people who fully support Dr. Bawumia without divergent views, then it means that is a sense of unity. That would have meant that a lot more people that you want them to come on board will have left the party. They wouldn't have been part of the whole process. And that would mean that 2028, you will have been more likely to lose, once again. But I mean, the MPP that we know, the values that they stand for, the Daroches, the Day sides, the JH Mensens, the kind of value system they impacted, right? the CTUs and Alajete, kind of very they impacted to the MPP. This is not what we are seeing. Even if you look at the national level, the executives over there, they do not really have any gravitas. You see, they don't have gravitas because that is the more reason why if they want to have a new, page altogether, you may need persons who are very formidable, who can speak truth to power, like the Jakos, right? Like Obre Japan, whom I felt that they shouldn't have gone for the presidential, slot. They should have gone for the chairmanship and bring the needed change that is always called for, the reform that is always called for within the party. But he lost that particular opportunity. Maybe he may play a different role within the party to ensure that the party grows and get, better reformed along the line. But I think that at this point in time, I don't know if they may want to reconsider Afoko, or they may embroil him in some kind of legal gymnastics with respect to his qualification and those things. If those things don't happen, then probably it should be between Mr. Jako and then Afoko.
But Chairman Wontumi got what? 45 constituencies in his backyard, the stronghold of the MPP in Ashanti region for Dr. Bawumia, out of 47. And you say that is not a trump card for him?
You mean the 2024 national elections?
No, they just ended presidential primaries. He got 45.
But this is just an internal election.
Yes, but that should show you the kind of support he has internally, no?
Well, it is possible, but the point is that he was not the one they were voting for. So that there is that erroneous impression. He was not the one they were voting for. They were voting for Dr. Bawumia, so he might have played his role in going about campaigning. But the candidate he was projecting is Dr. Bawumia, not himself. But I can tell you that if he thinks that he's still popular within the party, he should go back for the regional chairmanship of the Ashanti region and see whether he will win.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you very much, Dr. Jonathan Asante-Otri, Executive Director of the African Institute of Strategic Studies. That's the new nomenclature in town now. We'll keep that in the record. Thank you so much indeed for speaking to us. We're grateful. Magda?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Well, it's an interesting announcement, considering that we know as well that Boakye Jaku has signified that he wants to be in that race as well. John Boadu.
Yes, John Boadu, former General Secretary.
Former General Secretary.
Former Energy Minister.
Has also expressed interest in going for that position.
Right.
In terms of whether or not, so I know 2 out of the 3 are out and out supporters of Dr. Bawumia. Boakye Jaku, I didn't know where he stood in the presidential
He
primary.
wanted to be the flag bearer as well at some point.
Yes, in 2023.
That's right.
But the Superdelegates Conference eliminated him. So it will be interesting to know what the delegates make of his candidature as well, because I've seen some persons suggest that after Bawumia they are making Boakye Jaku their chairman.
We will wait.
We'll
wait to see. Anyway, we'll wait to see. But I'm just wondering what could have powered Wontumi to say he wants to be national chairman of the MPP.
No, he seems and believes
he's
that
what the MPP needs now.
He wields the. That is a question.
That is the question.
That is a question the delegates will have to answer. We are seeking to answer the question why he has decided to.
Yes, but then as to whether he is who they need at this point,
it's a
for
question.
them to answer.
Yeah, it's a question for them to answer.
He speaks better English than Mr. Atufo, Dr. Atufo.
Now I say, what accepting no, a been about so for 2020 elections, we lose you free net about people net, won't mean you to
Sunrise on 3FM.
Don't know about court no, court to catch now self for evidence. I will walk Fabra, what me and evidence now, up to date. What you mean, Frank Kufu don't catch and say congratulations. Now some brofo no want it. And then now Marco Falk will be with him brofo saying no na Parliament. Omo minority leader.
Ayi Atufo.
Met him brofo saying. Odawro, opa sisi agro.
Sakufado co-parliament ne etupa friend na minini mienu yamfa say chairman samosu ne fa me no ne yamfa kabrofo
na we ya no what obone brofo no kakra me eti
me say oh na say me kabrofo a oba pa amofe me kabrofo be nation yes what you say but one of the brofo na waka no esisi so what you say esisi so enti ayadia and this phone
is English your mate. We have to check out the studio first. Birthdays. To my lovely wife, Abina, God bless your new age. Cheers from Bra Ima. Says he wishes you a happy birthday. Also a happy birthday to Reverend Enoch Thompson, the Executive President of the Ghana Baptist Convention. It's your birthday today. We thank God for your life, for your service and leadership. May the good Lord continue to establish you in his vineyard. Happy birthday to you. Also a happy birthday to Andy Sarkodie, CEO of Colgra Clothing and Ocean Bells Travel and Tour. God bless you greatly. This is from Head of News, Alfred Nede Akrofio Kansi, the Head of News. And Noble Crosby Annan sends this one to Felicity Ahoma. This is from your friends and family, including Noble Crosby Annan and his wife. They wish you a happy birthday. If it's your birthday as well, happy birthday to you. To DSP Loretta Valentina, Amwa of the prison service, good morning to you, and good morning to lawyer Duji Tamaklo of the NPA. My name is Johnny Hees on behalf of the rest of the team. Eric Mawina, Beta 62 Stone Ulo, Corey, DJ Phil, and everybody else has contributed to the production. We say goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. It's a throwback Thursday, and know that if you're thinking it and your heart is believing it, you can achieve it. Whether inflation they show for your pocket or they show for your pocket, or still